Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, we go to let pop culture lair.
Happy Saturday and welcome to Sci-Fi Center Presents Saturday Overnight Live. Rest in peace, Diane Keaton. That was a great. We lost today. I was unaware of illness, like many of these stars. She kept it private. She's one of the younger ones of the Godfather parts 1, 2, and 3 generation. You know, everybody else. Coppola's hitting 90. Al Pacino is 83, still having babies. Robert De Niro is right around there. So I did not expect to hear about her passing this afternoon. But Academy Award winner Diane Keaton passing away today. Won her Academy Award for Annie Hall, Woody Allen to Annie Hall, a while back. So for those of you Woody Allen fans, you'll know that one. But you know, I'm a big historian when it comes to Academy Awards, despite the Academy itself. All right, I hope I am coming in clear. I am not on the best internet right now, simply because we had some really bad rain. Really bad. For those of you who, ask me, William, why do you hate the rain? For those of you who are both local and afar, that when you ask me why I absolutely cannot stand the rain here in Las Vegas, but besides the fact that I live in the desert and shouldn't have to deal with it, I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you. Here we go. Hold on. I'll pull this up for you. All right. The car show is here. And my car buddies are here. Hopefully some of them will come up. All right. Here we go. This here is from the front door of the Sci-Fi Center. Let me turn this down a little bit. This was last night. All right, the only thing missing from this picture is Gilligan, Mary Ann, the Howard, and the USS Minnow walking up somewhere. This is the bullshit that I desert. Now, for the left there, you guys have seen the pictures that I've taken where the status says to my left, you can't see the status, there's the light. This bullshit came out of nowhere. And of course, it's weather. And then today we have the So yeah. I don't care about the drought. I don't care about I have warned everyone around me. Come up to me saying, William, we needed this. You may need a source of oxygen. So, all right, that's probably Clint chiming in to tell me I sound like shit or I don't. Oh, you can't hear me over there. Okay, cool. All right. Well, while it was raining, that was basically describing the out of nowhere bullshit storm we got that flooded my store, of course. Got the buckets, all that stuff. Made it to where none of the customers wanted to come out. It was too dangerous for people to drive in this area. And it did something to our cable, our Cox cable connection here. Once again, that's, and I'm in a really old building with the shine, but yeah, that was more rain than Vegas was built for. The reason why the rain does so much damage here is because when I first moved here, it never rained like this. I don't live in Portland. I don't live in Seattle. I don't live in the fucking rainforest. I don't need this. We'll find a way to get the water. Trust me, we always have. But yeah, so if my internet's jammed up, I will try to tweak it when Brad gets here and see what we can do. But my sources of internet right now are not good. So hopefully I look good. Hopefully I sound good. But yeah, that's when I look at the weather report and I see that, it really, really fucks up my mental state because I know I got to go get the buckets. I know I got to go move shit around. It just sucks. And we've had the roof fixed here a bunch of different times. It's going to get replaced eventually. But you know what? I've been in this plaza for a long time. I never had this problem until recently. I lived like I lived in the desert. The hell. But anyway, hey, tonight's show and the next few shows all the way up until the end of the week is brought to you by Universal Pictures and Blumhouse Pictures. Black Phone 2, starring Academy Award nominee Ethan Hawke, only in theaters October 17th, which is next Friday. For those of you who are local here in Las Vegas, you have until about midnight or so until I get out of here to come by and get a seat for the advanced screening. And while you are here doing that, you, while supplies last, will get a nice Black Phone 2 t-shirt. Even got Black Phone on the little side there, attention to detail. Black Phone 2 in theaters October 17th. Another one thing we want to commemorate yesterday, but I was not on the air, the passing of Christopher Reeve back in 2004. I remember this day like it was yesterday. It sucked. It absolutely sucked, especially for those of you who have grown up with him, not just because he was Superman, because his fight. I felt the same way as I felt with Stephen Hawkins. These guys just didn't give up because of what happened to them, and they are inspirations even in death. So yesterday was the commemorative, and we're also going to be discussing something else in the thumbnail. Pac-Man's 45th anniversary. Now I know that Pac-Man first premiered in Japan on May 22nd, but let's be serious. Until it hits the US of A, it's not. So October 10th, 1980 was when Pac-Man hit arcades here in America. I was 6 years old. I remember playing that shit. You had to wait in the line. You had to wait in the line to play Pac-Man at the arcade because, of course, they only had the one. But yeah, 45 years. We'll talk about that. We'll actually bring up the game and play it a little bit. But hey, I got a special guest that I don't get to have on very often. And since we're talking New York Comic Con, I'm pretty sure you're as aggravated about some of the things that got announced there as I am, especially the old Ultimate thing. Somebody needs to explain it. I'm missing something, Phil. I'm looking at my solicitations. I'm trying to figure out, am I being swerved here? Are they really going to do this? Or is this a post-creator universe? Am I missing something?
I don't know. I didn't really see anything that got announced today. I've been MIA playing games.
Oh, okay. Well,
so you tell me, like what I mean, I saw that there's some stuff for X-Men 97 and Spider-Man Friendly Neighborhood and Daredevil, a couple other things, and Vision Quest, but outside of that, I didn't really see anything else. What exactly are you referring to?
They officially announced that they're ending the final issues of all the Ultimate Marvel stuff that's happening in springtime, and it really does.
Yeah, that sucks.
And I was wondering if you knew anything about if this, because I'm thinking, okay, are they ending this and then beginning something after the storyline, or are they ending? And I couldn't find anything. All this news, by the way, guys, this is my half-assed New York Comic Con one, because tomorrow I'll get more details, and plus there's going to be one more day of news that they're putting out. But as far as what we'll put out today, we'll cover some of the Vertigo stuff. Boom Studios is crossing over with Swamp Thing officially, which I think is cool. And let me put Brad here before I just forget. Hello. But yeah, a lot of it was trailers. They had Star Trek trailer, which looks better than I thought. They showed some stuff from Daredevil season 2. The DC announced that there's they got, in fact, I got pictures of. They announced a couple of different Scott Snyder things, and they're also crossing over with I see Vampirella. DCKO it's actually going to include like Vampirella, Homelander, which I was like, okay, that's hilarious.
We all you I don't know about Brad, but I think you and I know full well exactly why they threw Homelander in there.
Yeah.
We know full well who the fuck he's gonna fight. It's pretty obvious. And let me tell you something right now, with what Superman's packing, Homelander don't stand a fucking chance. I don't know. Did you read DCKO? Because I read it.
Yeah. Wow. He covered that last week. I got an advanced copy from Scott Snyder.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, nice. He gave me that, and he gave me a Batman. So we covered that a couple of days ago. I know people get numb to when DC does big events. I understand. I know. This isn't one of those, though. This one is really the explanation of why they have to do what they have to do.
This is them poking fun at those big events, because in the conversation that the time trapper has with our character,
who is Doomsday, by the way.
Yeah. A sentient version of Doomsday who can fucking speak and speaks from the future. Oh my god. Oh. So what happens is he warns the Justice League that Darkseid has become absolute everywhere, everything everywhere all at once, basically. And it's to them to basically stop him. And the Time Trapper, Gorilla Grodd, Booster Gold, they all tell, the core members, your Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Mr. Terrific, like the main players. They all tell them, like, we've seen you do 1,000 things, 1,000 different ways. You guys die every time. The only thing you can do this time is what you've done every time in the past. And that's just let it play out and fucking start over. And Dick Grayson kind of chimes in. He's like, and how exactly has that worked out for us in the past? And like the Time Trapper talks about a point in time where, like, oh, well, you restarted and things changed. You were de-aged, blah, 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 blah. And it's like a picture of DC New 52. And someone's just like, yeah, fuck that. We're not doing that again. And like the point of the conclusion they come to is like, okay, well, if you're going to take on someone who is this powerful and has basically become like I'm not going to call a celestial being, but a being that has surpassed the laws of physics and the laws of cosmic oddity, then you need to have someone who's going to ascertain and succumb and gain the same Omega energy that Darkseid did to become what he did. But instead of Omega energy, it's going to be Alpha energy, because what Scott Snyder does in this story is he basically breaks down that the DC multiverse is divided amongst two types of energies, and that is Alpha energy and Omega energy. And what Darkseid did to make the absolute universe was he thrusted himself with nothing but Omega energy, and that's why the absolute universe thrives on Omega energy. So this in turn leads Darkseid to become what he is, and now Earth's mightiest heroes, no pun intended, because these are not the Avengers, it's the Justice League we're talking about, have to basically do an all-out brawl, one-on-one battle royale to figure out who the fuck is strong enough and capable enough to take on this massive amount of energy to maybe go after Darkseid. And that's not even the biggest twist of it all either. The biggest twist is at the end of the book. But yeah, apparently Sub-Zero, Vampirella, the Annabelle doll, Homelander, like they're going to be in this too.
I mean, he was in the Shazam movies, so.
So that was wild. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, what? He's really, he must have really proved something to somebody because they're letting him do whatever the hell he wants to. Now, here's the difference, though. He actually is doing it right because the last time we let somebody do this, kind of turned to shit. But
wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you got to adjust your mic again.
Okay, yeah, because I got this set up. It's like I was gonna like play around with it if the show starts.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's still there. You gotta make the adjustment to where it sounds like you're in the room. So yeah, this was happening. There was all kinds of stuff. It was all over the place today, but this was the wildest one that I saw that I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, I'm not happy about the Ultimates going away. I have a problem with this. They're good selling books for me. I'm going to be selfish right there.
I had a suspiciously sneaking feeling that Marvel was going to do that, and it's honestly not surprising. And it's not surprising because their editorial is fucking stupid. Like their current editorial is a fucking joke. Like there are very few people who actually like working for Marvel editorial. There's a reason why a few people jumped ship from Marvel editorial to DC editorial when Jim Lee became sole CEO and publisher, and the editing and all the editing teams at DC changed too. It's just like, and this is just a bad habit Marvel has. They do something cool for like 2 years and then they fucking kill it. It's like, why?
Okay, Marvel, if you're watching, I'm speaking directly to Marvel. Why do you got to take money out of my pocket, dude? You guys know how hard it is to make a buck here? I really don't have a bad selling Ultimate comic. It's doing well enough for me. It's selling the old shit. I got the old trade paperbacks filling in gaps. Is there a censor in my store that's like, wow, things are going okay? Fuck that guy. What did I do? I don't understand this. I don't know anybody that's having a problem. Is there anybody out there, comic book wise, that's having a problem moving Ultimate Wolverine? I'm not. Ultimate Spider-Man's doing great. Why are you? What is it? What am I missing? Are we ending this? Are we doing something post-creator? If we're doing something post-creator, you guys need to say that this is a bridge to another story. Because if you're just ending it outright, that's like you coming in and burglarizing me and popping open my cash register and just running off with it. That's what it equates to. I don't understand this. Editorial, I understand. We were writing comic books. These are imaginary stories. Go with the story. But this is also a business. You guys aren't doing this for free. This isn't a charity. Right? This isn't a March of Dimes. This is a business, and these are doing well. I could see if they were waning. Okay, cancel a book if it's not doing good. Ultimate X-Men's not the best. Still does okay though. But you match Ultimate Spider-Man sales up with any other Spider-Man title, it's probably the best one you got, as far as numbers wise. Mm-hmm. The Ultimates is brilliant. Ultimate Wolverine, I sold out every issue that I got. I don't know anybody who's having a problem selling. So why are you doing this? What am I missing? Is this an April Fool's joke? I mean, I don't understand this. And I didn't understand it, to be honest with you. They had a stronger case when the whole Secret Wars thing. But even then, I said then, that was stupid too. This is really dumb because you're struggling to sell these things and you got a winner. Why? Ultimate Black Panther? It's great. Variants are doing well. It's a good story. So where are we going with this? And that's what I was hoping I was going to find out an announcement. We're scrapping this. It's the story's called Endgame. Wow.
Yep.
More originality. So is it an Endgame that leak? Because I guess I'll hold my true anger until I find out that this is not leading to something even bigger, because they could be, okay, this is an Endgame. But the story that you've built up, I'm sorry, is not going to be. I'm not going to have enough of it by the time this goes down. You spent like almost 2 years building this up and building it up with quality. I mean, I don't understand this. I was hoping for more clarity. I hope that somebody out, one of you scoopers, can find out something and find out what's next. And my biggest question is, what if you're ending this? What's next? Because last time you ended the Ultimates, sent you into a DC-like spiral creativity wise. And then we got the X-Men thing going on, which I'm like, okay, we're all right. We got a new relaunch of X-Men, or sort of relaunch of X-Men. But yeah, the Ultimate thing was really, that just aggravated me, because I was hoping New York Comic Con will be like, okay, I know you guys are pissed, solicitors, you guys are pissed about this, but this is where we're going with this. I'd have been like, all right, cool. But I've turned a lot of people on to Absolute DC and Ultimate. I have a section set up for Ultimate Marvel. What am I putting that? Jesus. All right, well, anyway, the other thing that they announced, and this I didn't get any information on this. Phil, did you hear any of this? I know this was they were coming out with this before the con, which is X-Men Shadows of Tomorrow.
I don't really pay much attention to Marvel comics. I mean, even just I heard of the Ultimates was ending, and I was like, much like you, I was like, well, that's a fucking dumb idea.
Yeah. I want to be wrong about this. I want to be wrong about that.
It just doesn't really make any sense to end it so soon when people are really, really liking it. I mean, a large problem that the Ultimates ran into initially back in the early 2000s was a lot of the books just weren't good, and they weren't really selling. The only one that really was doing well was Spider-Man, and I think either Ultimates or X-Men was the only other book that was doing semi-well. Ultimate Spider-Man was really the only one that was really, really, really doing well. But now you can't say that. Now it's the whole line that's really great.
Whole line, even the one I don't like. I don't like Ultimate X-Men. It does fine.
It's crazy because it's got a really solid antagonist at the center of it all with the Maker, and it's like,
he's a piece of shit.
Why are you going to kill this so fast? It doesn't make any sense at all. Unless the only reason I could think of is unless this was built in to be the end game. But I don't know that that's the case.
Okay, if that was Phil, I'm fine with that. But when the money comes in, it's like if I have a yard sale, I'm only going to do it on Saturday. But man, I made a lot of money on Saturday, and I still got some shit to sell. Guess what we're going to do on Sunday? You make adjustments, man. I mean, fuck. But the Maker is such a piece of shit enemy, such a well done enemy over two Ultimate Heroes now, that he could be a cinematic villain. He's that much of a piece of shit. Man, what he does to create this Ultimate Universe is Doctor Doom is heartbreaking. And he fucks up an entire universe that they have to fix. And I'm like, that's a movie right there. But all right, so X-Men, this is another show. I have not been paying as much attention to X-Men since the Hickman era ended. Age of Revelation, another original name. One X-Man of the present has been stranded into the Age of Revelation, fighting against impossible odds in the world of tomorrow. But while they've been there, what has their future counterpart been doing in the body that's present? And
is that Cassandra Nova?
No, that's Professor X. No, it may be Cassandra Nova.
No, that looks like Cassandra Nova.
That's her. That's her. No, that's her. That's her trench coat.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. They did her dirty there. Well, she's in the comics. She is ugly. I mean, she wasn't attractive-ish until fucking Deadpool and Wolverine.
To be fair, they cast an attractive person to play.
Yeah, they didn't put any makeup on her. So Cyclops number one. So this is what we got. Generation X. I remember this when this comic came out in the 90s.
After Generation X 23.
Yeah, which is like, okay.
I think I have some Generation X comics down here.
I got them all. Chris Bachalo from Sandman fame. Man, he made some great covers. Inglorious X-Force. They're taking what Phil's Magic and Colossus. They're trying to recapture the energy of Age of Apocalypse in some way.
Yeah.
And it seems like Marvel Comics has been trying to do that since 1995. And remember, you guys
Who's
know
writing
that
the Deadpool book?
Right.
Did you see who's writing the Deadpool book?
No, I didn't look.
Okay.
Who is it?
I didn't see.
Oh,
it.
I thought you told. I thought it was going to be somebody.
No. I wanted to know because I'd be curious. You know, there
It
weren't
ain't-
too many books on that list that I'd be tempted to read. Honestly,
It ain't Rob Liefeld, if anybody's wondering.
no. He retired. He retired from doing the character altogether. I think right around the movie.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
right around
but not only that, but he's also kind of burns the bridges with Marvel.
Well,
Say.
right. Like
they didn't really do him. He acted kind of crazy, but they didn't really do him right too.
That's true. Yeah, I mean that is fair.
Okay, Marvel.
Both editorial and Marvel Studios.
What I find wrong with Marvel sometimes, many times, is they try to recapture a moment instead of creating a new one. I understand the lure to recreate. DC does it too, and we'll get into that fucking fan nonsense. I understand wanting to keep revisiting and keep trying to recapture that energy. That was, I was there when it was selling. That was one of the rare things of the mid 90s that actually sold. That wasn't garbage copies. That there's not a million copies of them sitting around because people bought those and they held on to them. I understand that. I understand some of the things that they want to go back to, but here's the problem: they spend too much time looking back, and you start to get the feel. And I hate to say this, you start to get the feel of only the names and faces have been changed to protect the innocent, but the same structure of what they've done is the same. It's a big event. You know, let's throw this all together. When Chris Claremont was doing these things, you know, and Fabian Nicieza was doing these things back in the late 80s and early 90s, there was massive buildup. People remember Age of Apocalypse. They don't remember Legion Quest. They don't remember all the other shit with David Haller and all that other stuff, that almost year-long storyline that built up to Legion Quest, that built up to Age of Apocalypse. There was a huge buildup. Mutant Massacre was a 6-year buildup because it started from X-Men 194 when Morlock started getting killed on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And Madeline Pryor's clone was always supposed to be what Madeline Pryor's or Jean Grey's clone, Madeline Pryor, spoiler alert, it's been 40 years. But it was always meant to be to build up to that. So you had years in these big, and Inferno and everything else, Fatal Attractions. The Fatal Attractions where Magneto famously pulls out Wolverine's adamantium. That storyline starts before the Mutant Massacre. It starts in X-Men 200 because it's Magneto's redemption arc. And that was a full circle thing with Magneto's redemption arc because he'd given up on the world because so many mutants are dying. The legacy virus, Charles Xavier was helpless. He couldn't do anything. And even Colossus convincingly turned to Magneto. So when they build these things during the era that they're trying to really tug on, it took a really long time to get to that place. And it just doesn't seem like they want to do the narrative stuff to get to that place. They just want to make a big announcement, sell a bunch of variants, and then, blow it up. I have no fucking faith in anything that they do right now. Remember, continuity is cash. I just made a lot of cash from the Ultimate Universe, and now I'm losing that continuity, which is a problem. So what do I tell the people who have really been enjoying that book? And I don't have anything beyond that.
It's like, imagine coming across a cow that has some of the best milk ever produced, and it provides you such rich wealth, and one of your partners is like, oh yeah, we're putting the cow up for slaughter.
We want the beef. We want the
beef because we want the beef now. And it's like,
oh
no, do you see this? This is steady. This is beautiful. This is consistent. What do you mean we want the beef?
New, it's different.
You get the beef once and then that's it, no more.
Cow's gone. And like I said, this is the same thing as Marvel Comics crawling up my stairway right now, putting on a ski mask and coming in and sticking me up. So yeah, I got a problem with that.
Meanwhile, DC's like, hey, Scott Snyder, can you and Joshua Williamson like just fucking come up with some cool shit? Yes. Okay,
and
cool.
They
And
every
that's
time they say hold my beer every time they ask them that.
And that's it. It's so
Dude,
fucking
what they're
easy.
doing with DC, what he's doing
Because-
with DC right now. Scott Snyder, like I told you guys last year, remember I said Scott Snyder when I came back from Comic-Con 2023. In fact, when I was in the hotel in 2023, after we had seen, because that's when we were given the heads up, Absolute Universe, and giving up, I was saying this guy is showing the entire brand the way to handle these things. And here we are 2 years later, hundreds of thousands of copies of these issues, 9 printings.
Nice.
Yeah,
And he has,
nice.
we haven't even gotten to like the first proper crossover yet with Wonder Woman and Batman. That's still 2 months away. So this is just like the warm up, basically.
Well,
and not only that,
I get it, Phil, but I'm talking about like,
yeah, this entire universe. He's not just doing Absolute. He's lighting up the mainline universe in a very relevant way. He's made comics that were birdcage bottoms relevant now. Superman's a hard sell, especially after the Jonathan Kent stuff. I don't know about anybody else, but that I'm not getting people that are in love with that character. All right, it's not like he's Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne was different.
Him making Ra's al Ghul like Superman's like arch, that's like the best thing they've done Superman comics wise in years.
Well, and a Joker that doesn't tell jokes.
Yeah.
But is the smartest thing on the planet. He's the one who figures out the Omega energy is what's controlling their universe. And now they're so warped that everything bad is good. And they're like, we don't want these do-gooders fucking around with this. This is,
And then they end that issue off with a phone call to Lex Luthor. How can I help you?
Yeah, he's just sitting on fat ass sitting on a fan.
Yeah.
All right, it's been oh fuck. It hasn't been. Has it been long enough for me to spoil what happened with the Green Arrow, Ultimate Absolute Green Arrow? I mean, because I keep getting people in the chat.
Died, dude.
People are in the chat asking me about Absolute Green Arrow, and I didn't want to say anything in case you guys. There was an Absolute Green Arrow for about 14 pages, and then Absolute Hawkman. Yeah, Absolute Hawkman brings a corpse of Oliver Queen with a bullet through his head. Now, keep in mind, it's a comic book movie death.
Yeah,
I do not expect that Green Arrow to stay dead.
Nor will Barry Allen, for that matter.
I think Barry Allen may.
Really?
Yeah, because he's not relevant. He's not as relevant to the story as well he was.
Okay.
But anything, Scott Snyder's outthought my predictions so far. So yeah, so sorry, Green Lantern people, because I keep getting people asking. I'm like, and Absolute Evil #1, they take care of all that, but they do it to underscore just how fucked up this universe is.
And see, this is where I've asked William a couple times before. This is where I really wonder what we were talking about, like what Scott Snyder has done, with the level of it, energy and reinvigoration of so many different titles he's done on the comic side. This is where I really wondered, like, what degree is there any degree of synergy between him and like with that and DC Studios right now? Because there just has to be like some kind of like hey, let's get Scott Snyder on the phone, and see if
there isn't. I need people dismissed. We were talking about this on the Vacker stream last night. This drives me crazy. This drives me crazy. Because you got the people on YouTube that are like, put so much emphasis on DC Studios in their movies. If my entire car is not running, I don't give a fuck about the motor. If the tires are bald and if the transmission is shot. If you are not taking care of the entirety of the machine that is DC, then you're making pennies over here and letting dollars fly out the window over there. If they are not, eventually it won't need to be anybody's synergy, because if you're selling 450,000, if you are averaging 450,000 units moved, somebody is going to see that number and bring it to somebody who's greedy enough to say, wow, here's something we haven't farmed yet. Now, like I said last night, there needs to be a fusion cell within DC where they all sit around the table and they they report to each other. Hey, how's it going with the motion picture? Ooh, that's great. That's fun. Hey, you, how is it going with the animation? And we're all sitting equals, looking at each other, saying, you know what, that sounds good. You sold how many fucking units? And then if I'm in the non-comic book side, I'm thinking, yeah, 450,000 times $5. Nah, not a lot. It's a couple million. Yeah, not a lot of money when the large scale of things. But now, if I get those people that are buying the comic book interested in anything else of higher dollar, it's the unit number that we should be talking about together at that table. 450,000. Let's cut that in half. 250,000 plushies, 250,000 shirts, 250,000 hats, keychains. That's where they need to be thinking. The interest in the units that he's moving can translate into actual other merchandise, subscriptions, any of these things. So if there's not, there's no way. I refuse to believe right now, in the world of greed that we live in, that there is not an absolute Batman on the horizon in some other format besides comic book. For greed's sake, there are too many greedy people in that organization for that not to be the case. Now, it's going to come about by greed, but it should come about by fusion. But it's
I think since because the newly announced Nightfall film is 4 parts.
I knew, God, William, I knew.
You know what? I invited you to my show in friendship and out of respect, and you basically have peed all over. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, since they're doing this movie in its 4 parts, from a calendar release standpoint, to me, that tells me that all next year DC animation is nothing but Batman Nightfall. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
totally wrong. But
that's fine. But I'm talking like the next within two years from now.
I'm getting to that. Okay, because prior to Gunn taking over, you know, all they had going for them after the Tomorrowverse was the Watchmen movie or the Watchmen 2-parter. And then, you know, I had heard that they were also working on that, the Nightfall film. And outside of that, nothing else. I had heard that they were only just working on such and such. Mr. Chattanooga FBI likes to think that they're working on a Jurassic League movie, but I have yet and heard to see anything about that. So take that with a grain of salt. To me, it sounds like they're doing the Nightfall movie as a buffer in a sense of like, this will take out the whole year. And now we're going to look and see what comes from the comics, and we're going to look and see what James Gunn is doing. And we're going to figure out what other animated stuff we're going to do forward, because a lot of people really did like Creature Commandos. And I know a lot of people really do like those animated movies, even if the Tomorrowverse didn't really gel well with audiences.
Yeah, I like it.
And I feel like, you know, James Gunn is the head of film and animation now. So I would imagine something either DCU related or Elseworlds related is probably going to happen after Batman Nightfall, if I had to guess.
Scott Snyder, I invited you to watch this show. Thank you for the advanced copies, though, because that was beautiful. Listen, dude, need you to make your way into one of these meetings. You put your balls on the table and say 450,000 units, man. Take your balls off the table and leave, and let them figure that out. It has to be absolute. You see, it has to be. I understand you got this other stuff in the way. Wow, we're really racking tonight. I understand you have to get this one out the way. Fine, hold on. Do you really need speakers on a motorcycle? That's kind of it's cool, I guess, but do you really need while you're riding? Can you anyway? Hey, so it to me, somebody who's doing the accounting or the viability, there's got to be somebody in the building that says that number has to jump out and poke you in both eyeballs. Mm-hmm. That's money. If that's malfeasance. If you don't do something with absolute Batman, I don't care if it's a short. I don't care if it's a fucking cartoon. I don't care what if you do not excel at beyond the papers and staples. there needs to be people just on the door.
Mhm.
Get this other stuff out the way. Nightfall. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight with this guy.
You know what would be so awesome? What is
I'm gonna
the
buzz
idea?
you,
Like,
I will eject you from the stove.
it's if you open one of the doors in Peacemaker and you see him in silhouette with the axe, it's like, oh right, we were talking about that on here. It's like, oh, guess what?
That should have been, dude, for what you gave me now with Peacemaker, that would have, if you'd have done 2 seconds of absolute Batman, a 6'6" Batman turning around with an axe, or not even turning around, but just putting the axe on the ground, I would have forgotten about the other 39 minutes of whatever the fuck that was Thursday night.
We'll get to that a little bit with Peacemaker.
Yeah, that we'll get to the autopsy, and it is now an autopsy of the
it's a postmortem.
But yeah, I cannot believe, I refuse to give up on hope that there's somebody that is looking at absolute Batman and not only that, it's doing it consistently now. It's not just this issue here, this issue here. These titles are doing what they're doing consistently throughout. You can check the numbers. This is not just me, William. You can check the sales numbers now. They're public. You can check those sales. Look at those sales numbers. When you start thinking it's worth doing 7th, 8th, and 9th printings, something is going okay. So yeah, I need to see Absolute on a Elseworld, whatever you want to call it, a cartoon. Like I showed you guys that one thing where the person did the opening.
Yeah,
that was really cool. I thought that was real at first, and then I'm like, oh fuck it, the fan made. God,
it was good enough as a fan made.
Done well.
Yeah,
it's done well. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna say hi to. Go ahead.
Well, real quick, we got a super chat here, and actually kind of a yes, I have, and all I have, all that needs to be said on that is comic book news is bullshit. It's like, I mean,
what was going on?
It was just like an article about how Paramount's coming in.
Oh, I saw that. Paramount and Guns Out. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I mean, there's other reporting on this upcoming, because I think the writing's definitely on the wall for like another merger or sale. But one thing, just don't take your news on this from Costco news, okay, guys? This is like
I'm going to say something on this, and then I'm going to make it go away. You're going to hear this sound increase, unfortunately, until there is a contract that says otherwise. There is no reason. There are going to be people speculating about putting under the bed without any sources or reason, because they have left that open for the misinformation to be there. And until he is signed, sealed, deliver for the foreseeable, there is and I hate this. I hate this because we just got done talking about instability and continuity fucking up. Mm-hmm. Now we have a chance to do this all over again, and I just really don't feel like it. I don't have the spiritual energy to start over again. I barely had to. I had to drag myself close to the pole here now, and I don't want to do this again.
Well, and the thing about it, even with contracts, they could still.
Thanks for the call, Super Chat, Paul.
Yeah, thank you for that, Paul. Even with signed contracts, they still could theoretically pay those out.
Yeah, you can buy them out. Yeah, you can buy them out, and
Abdi and DeLuca were they were the ones who just re-upped. Working. I mean, jury's still out on Gunn and Safran, but
I still think that whoever is,
their contracts aren't up until next year.
Gunn and Safran, that's when that's when there's so
which would coincide with if this buyout does happen and it's fast track, because we got an administration that's basically.
And even then, if that all lined up with when they're supposed to re-up anyway, if they re-up, then at that point they would either get bought out or they would stay. Because William and I were talking about this last night. If in the event that David Ellison does in fact have Paramount Skydance purchase Warner Brothers, which again I don't think is a good idea, number one, and number two, it's a stupid idea. And number two, I don't think it's feasible at the moment because, well, their box office, they're number one at the box office right now. I don't know why they would want to, be under someone else's thumb when they're doing fine for all intents and purposes right now. They are in the middle of a split up, and Paramount was just bought by Skydance. So that has to settle, and that split, whatever's going on with it, it either has to go through, or the board at Warner Brothers, the board of Warner Brothers Discovery, they are either going to weigh the option of, is it better for us to be bought with our debt as is, or is it better for us to split? And David Zaslav, we all know what he's been doing,
Hmm.
grinding his axe, taking shit away, and giving, as much as he can to what he thinks is going to give him the most profit. He's flipping the house.
Because he's gone. He's
Yeah.
gone.
Oh hell yeah, he's gone.
And that would absolutely be. And when it comes to owning Warner Brothers Discovery, that would be the only thing that would stop David Ellison from like being what David Zaslav is now, is him. And that's exactly what it would take. They would have to probably buy him out of his contract, because we know he didn't get a raise. That's probably what he's looking for. He's probably looking for a way out. The question is can it happen legally? Probably, given the current administration. But there are still other protocols that both parties still have to abide by, considering one is going through a post-merger and the other one is getting ready to effectively split and become two
Do the
separate
opposite of a merger.
Right. But the thing is, they're still going to technically be operating as one unit, but they're not. It's stupid. It's a really dumb business model that doesn't really. It's really only there.
It's a tax scam. Let's be honest. It's a tax scam. Is what it is.
One. This is where I kind of come. This is where I said we're like, God, the whole like splitting up the company idea. Now we're heading into. This is where I've said before. It's like, if I were a gun, I'd really start to feel used at this point by the.
Remember my response to you.
And I you said it's like, well, I got used, but I got to make a Superman movie, and there's like,
but in fairness,
4 other filmmakers that got to do that.
What is show business? It is a business.
Yeah, it's not Show Friends. Yeah,
it's not Show Friends. Like Robert Martin is not Show Friends. And
Right.
even if he got cut loose, by the time he gets cut, he's going to have a resume and a legacy as a studio head. Somebody will hire him. I just want, like I said, every time somebody comes to me and says that so and so wouldn't do this, so and so wouldn't get rid of it, you must have hit your head on something every time this happened and forgotten about it. I don't want it to happen. I don't know the likelihood of it happening, but the mere possibility that it could keeps me from going near the water while that shark fin is fucking floating through there, and it keeps me on the beach right now, because I don't trust it right now. Yes, we need a Green Lantern. We needed that one today. What the hell is going on at New York Comic Con? The only thing coming out of Comic Con is pissing me off now. Why don't we have a trailer for this? I don't know. I needed them to be in Peacemaker. I don't know, man. What the hell?
Yeah. Again, we need a lot of things being. It's like we'll hold off on that as long as we can, because we definitely have thoughts on it.
Yeah, bro. I just got at the beginning of the show. Fuck. I mean, like I said, we don't know they're ill.
I really want to like believe that Lanterns is going to release in February. I really want to believe.
I need it in February.
I can't.
I'm gonna have gastrophysical problems. I guess.
I can't imagine any later than April. I mean, they definitely want out.
That's right off the table.
Well, your window is between January and May. Actually, more specifically, your window is between January 1st and June 29th.
We'll be seeing the preview episode at Comic-Con. What the fuck? Damn, it's around the internet. James Gunn's out of Creator Joe. Yeah, I don't believe that. Like I said, though, this is going to get this dinosaur is going to grow, unfortunately, because in the absence of fact, people plug in bullshit. And right now, I don't have any sources that are substantiating that. So, William, do you think it's going to be? Oh, sorry, Braden. Sorry, I didn't do it though. Blame Scott Snyder for now, because I don't know if he's going to stay dead. But he had a very visible hole in his head when Absolute Hawkman, who's man, he's introduced so many pieces of shit. Absolute Hawkman is a piece of garbage. Wow,
okay, so if the Absolute Universe is parallel to the main universe in some ways, there was one other Green Arrow, Connor Hawke.
Yeah, that's true. And he's got a book. He has a book officially announced.
Oh, and Red Arrow's there. He's talking to
he's Speedy hiding the book.
Roy Harper. Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry for all you people who I've been like not answering your little messages about Oliver Queen. But yeah, sorry about that, Braden. Rest in peace. Let's see. By the way, Aaron, don't worry about the WWE event. It's 5 a.m. in the morning. I watched it on the replay. And I'll talk about that at the end of the show, because WWE actually put out a semi-good product today. Granted, it was
Mortal Kombat news that Aaron and I were pretty excited about. So
what?
We got the Mortal Kombat news Aaron and I were pretty excited about earlier. So that's
okay. Hey, asshole, was that in the thumbnail? No, I'm just kidding.
I deal with every night.
Actually, it really doesn't matter because sometimes I forget whole things, and we still need to talk about Spider-Man. No, I fucking forgot about that. William, did you hear about Sigourney Weaver spoke to Disney about returning? She still looks good enough. I have always thought there was a place for her in the story at some point. I thought she should have been back in 1993 when I got Cardboard Dog Alien from what will become one of the great directors of all time. I thought she should have been back. I think there's, in the way that the story has rolled out now with the timeline, there's room for her to be back. So I don't know if it's substantiated. I would love for that to be true.
She was openly.
It still looks good.
She was talking about herself there, so this is like right from the horse's mouth. And
okay, good.
Did you hear? Do you remember reading about the one, like the alternate endings of the Predator that had like the pod? It was going to be either
the predators are the Predator.
The Predator.
Yeah. And the pod was either going to be one for Ripley or one for Newt. It's like that movie was just such a complete shit sandwich.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. It's like Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club. But I would love that. I would love that rationale.
Again, she's herself is talking about it, so it's.
Oh, here comes the world. The world is ending. Sky's falling, fourth 1,000. I mean, listen, dude. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not predicting the rise or fall of anything anymore because anything happened. No, yeah, that was rain. That was the rain from last night. That was some bullshit. But, I'm gonna do my anti-rain dancer. Can't believe because the internet. Yeah, don't believe the internet. Everything. Wait for sources that are like Forbes or people like actually deal with the money and get called before the shit gets announced type of deal. So those guys will be. Yes, Diane Keaton has passed away at age 79.
She did pass away today. That is correct.
You're gonna love this, William. The first thing I ever saw, or I should say, heard her in, was "Look Who's Talking Now," where she voiced the French poodle. That was my intro to Diane Keaton.
Yep. I saw her in The Godfather.
Yeah, that's probably where I saw her too. It's Godfather.
Godfather and then Godfather. I'm coming in late. You like Brad. But what the hell with the teddy bear? Oh, you weren't paying attention to that. What is that teddy bear from? He listed it. I just didn't. I looked at it. I only named the ones I recognized, and then the teddy bear was from something they said. I don't know what that is. We're getting Homelander, Sub-Zero, Red Sonja, Annabelle. But who's that teddy bear? Does it matter what those other four? I don't know. Yeah, Phil, do you know who the teddy bear is?
Fuck no.
I mean, it might be a thing like.
Once you get to Homelander, I'm like, who else? Yeah. Yeah, it's a 4-part animated movie. Okay, yeah, we're not talking about that.
It's gonna be Bane.
I'm afraid to go over to the Vodka Streams comic because I know I'm getting scared over there.
That last line was he was just having fun there, clearly.
Oh yeah. I see. Wow. I don't, like I said, that's just
listen, I don't even like the fucking Superman movie or Peacemaker. Booting him out of the role now would be a massive mistake. IMO.
Yeah, it's just whoever's in it right now and who's been in it and at this particular point in their toss at the game, you need to stay there long enough to really build. Otherwise, like I said, it's hard to trust people when they keep switching shit up.
100%.
I'll be banning you from the chat.
Why do you hate Nightfall so much? What did that story do to you? Kick you in the feels?
No, it kicked me in the wallet long term in the 90s, along with the other one brought up last night.
Oh, okay. I can understand the PTSD.
Yeah. When you have so many that no shit, guys. No shit. And in storage, I still have some. If I get somebody who's not a comic book fan, but is a Superman, just adjacent peripheral guy, guess what they get for their birthday or Christmas? Superman 75. Some of them in the back. And if I don't like you as much, but we are acquaintances and we've come close enough to where you should get a Christmas card or you should get a gift from me, something, anything.
Well, guess what, William? I had the one issue that had like the bloody shield and the armband and the poster on it, so that would have been a happy birthday for me.
You know what? When's your birthday? February?
February 5th.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on your mailbox.
Okay.
So yeah, I in Nightfall. Now, conversely, in Scott Snyder I trust, because he bought that character back and introduced that character in a far superior way than that stuff in the early 90s was. That's how you bring Bane online. That's how you build up the hate for Bane. That's how you write him. That's the dialogue. The fucking what? Oh. Absolute Bane. If I could put this storyline, Abomination, in a TARDIS and send it back to 1993 and say, here, guys, I know this is strange. It's a fucking telephone booth. I understand. But take these comics. By a guy named Scott Snyder. I think he's like 10 right now. But 30 years from now, the shit that you're doing right now, he's going to perfect it and do it right. So, yeah. So it's not Bane I hate. It's that whole storyline, how it was bought in and why it was bought in. Like I said, headline grabbing and saturation, chromium covers. There's a whole list of things in the early to mid 90s that really just fucked up the industry. And like I said, this is not William speaking, almost drove 2 comic book companies into bankruptcy. One of them was never going to go because it was a Warner Brothers owned company. The other one literally was selling off pieces of itself. It was like a person selling off its own organs at a drive-through. That's what Marvel was. And it was bad. Like I said, Mike Jackson almost was able to own Marvel for a ridiculous price until they turned things around. So, and these were the type of things that led that. So yeah, but yeah, we're Scott Snyder. Like I said, you're making things right. Because look what he's done with Doomsday. I think Doomsday is an absolutely fucking worthless character on its face, right? But this Doomsday,
I'm not reading Superman.
Yeah,
I'm only reading Absolute Batman.
Oh, dude, read the current run of
Superman.
Superman.
Yeah,
I don't have a
Not
job.
Superman. I'm talking about the current run of Superman. I know this is going to be hard. I know because this is tough for me to reconcile with what's going on in Superman right now with the Legion and Time Chopper and Superboy Prime is some of the best stuff they've done in about.
I've seen stuff about that going around. I've seen the Superboy Prime stuff. Yeah,
and
I've seen
the way that Lois is introduced to.
Oh, you're talking about Absolute Lois.
Okay. I have Absolute Superman and Absolute Wonder Woman #1. I've got #1 of each because I wanted the #1s of each of those. But at some point I'll get the trades of them eventually, maybe, hopefully, or I'll just reignite DC Universe Infinite and just read them online.
The true story, my friend Ashley, she hadn't really gotten on the whole Absolute train, and she wasn't kind of in. She wasn't aware what it was all about. So I was explaining to her what it was all about to her about a month ago. And she's a big Batman fan. So the way I sold it to her is I told this to William, and William loved this. Is I said, okay, here's something that happens early on. Is this Batman has an axe and he's 24 and he's like 7 feet tall. And I described the panel to her where it's like he meets there you go, yeah.
Hardcover and softcover.
Oh, I'm collecting Batman. I have the most recent issue. I read 13.
And I described to her the part where he fights the gang and chops one guy's arm off and says, "Yeah, the hospital is that way or that way. I don't remember, but you probably want to run." And she said, "All right, sold." And she dove on it. And a week later, it's telling me, "Oh, Brad, yeah, it's like, yeah, you thank you for letting me know about that because I am all in on the no pun intended."
It's the easiest thing to sell a customer. It is that and Ultimate, but Absolute Batman. Absolute Wonder Woman has been a joy because there are a lot of people that are not down with the current run in the last few years of Wonder Woman, and this allows them to continue. Yeah, Jared, he's continues to. This allows you to continue to love the version of the character who, in my opinion, this version of Wonder Woman is more true the mythological goddess that would be about in comics that kind of watered down with the regular universe stuff. So, that's my second favorite of these titles. All right, so what else did we find out from like I said, I only some of the stuff was so new. We're gonna get absolute Catwoman Wendy series, which is fine with me.
I did see that.
She's on the cover of the new Absolute Batman.
Yes,
yeah, she's on several of the covers of.
She's part of the story.
Her new costume with the Mysterio fishbowl, helmet.
Well, she stole it. She basically jacked it from Black Mask. she's really
Same technology. Yeah.
she's really good in this issue, episode 13, issue 13. She fucks around with Alfred. He has him by the neck. It looks like he's in a bondage video. And she's got him like a leash, and it's hilarious. She's like, and she's so cavalier, which is what Selena Kyle usually is, but she's way more cavalier. Given the horrific nature of their world, for her, she's just so relaxed type of, as a matter of fact type of situation. I love her characterization so far. I think this is going to be another title. And you know what? The Catwoman title right now doesn't do bad. They've done an excellent job with Catwoman covers to where when you're walking by, you're like, "Ooh, shit, what's that?" Here we go with this. And her interaction with Bruce is cooler, I think. I love the way they brought her in the beginning when they were kids and they were hopping on the rooftops. And what they've done with the Absolute Universe, and this is why Bane is better than that stuff, is because how they made you feel about everyone around Bruce. And then what happens to them as a result of this war with him and Bane. And the finale is in issue 14. Anything less than Bane getting the fuck beat out of him from cover to cover, Scott Snyder, you've earned that ass whipping for this character. What he did to Penguin, or what he did to what was Otto Kava, what he did to Edward Nygma, fucked up his brain. What he did to Two-Face. What he did to Killer Croc was the most one because Killer Croc
he just fucking, oh my god, that last issue before this one, where they were going over like what happened with them. Oh,
and they showed that Penguin looks like a big bread dough thing. He's all broke. All his bones are broken.
He every bone is broken, but so precisely to where he does not like bleed internally, or he like no major organ.
He just swells now, and it's like he's never going to be the same again. So you're seeing him create all these rogues gallery, and he's just a tool. He's just a tool for the Joker.
Yeah.
And then the Venom. This is how you bring in a character. I don't need to be like, wow, I need to bring in an all-powerful. I need to pull out an imaginary enemy out of my anus because, I just need somebody who can do this, and that. He already had that. And he didn't do it to Bruce. What he did to Bruce was minimal. What he did to Bruce in that one episode or one issue where Alfred, and I had to add, I messaged Scott Snyder back because I read the one episode where Bruce is getting just fucked up, right? And then it's only from Alfred's point of view that's happening. Yes. And I didn't get that.
I had to go back and do a double take on that one too. Because
I'm reading the PDF file, which doesn't really, it's not like I can pull.
Yeah,
so I messaged him. I'm like, what's happening in this? Is this being told? He's like, this is what Alfred says, thinks is happening. And that's why the whole story was being told from Alfred's point of view. I love that issue. And like I said, every issue of any of these Absolute books, you think that you've reached the ceiling, and he keeps raising it. Joker looks like a fucking Godzilla dinosaur in his final form, apparently.
Fucking demon. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's gonna, and he's got babies that he sucks dry energy, or that whole thing is just messed up. And I'm all over this. So Absolute Catwoman is going to be another one. Just the variants of Batman 13, Absolute Batman 13, doing the well as well as they did. This title is going to be another hit. They're in the moment now where they're just generating hits. It's like if they put Absolute on anything right now, it's probably going to do well, and it's probably going to help with, because Darkseid, you're going to have to deal with him. And this universe, as he said, this universe is not going away. Gunn needs to start dishing out teasers and trailers. He needs to keep the hype up. Well, not just him, DC in general needs to keep the hype up about everything that they're doing. I think they've dropped the ball on a lot of this stuff. And everybody was telling me, I am not a big fan of the ad campaign of Superman, James Gunn's Superman. I fucking hated that ad campaign, and we were part of it. I didn't like the compressed ad campaign. I didn't like the 30-day thing. And people were like, well, look at it work. No, I don't know. Well, that's a discussion we can have. I think that you should always promote movies like this traditionally. I don't think you have the room to be different. And here's why. The audience has already been trained to accept these ad campaigns and these time spans for decades. As long as there's been movies and movie ads and commercials, we get our trailer 9 months away. Then as we close into 90 days and 6 months, we start getting information about the movie. That's how the average American retail mind accepts these things. So when you compress everything into it, a lot of that ad campaign I thought was a deluge. It was like there was so much all at once. It was like, what am I focusing on here? So I don't know if that would have made the difference between another 100 million or 200 million or not. But I thought there was too much emphasis on advertising a movie instead of advertising the brand that the movie came from. So I think that they've continued to do this because like Green Lanterns, even if it's in March, listen, we're in month 10 of 2026. In 2 months, or 2025. In 2 months, we are in 2026. So how long do we wait to get this going? And when you're talking about a connected universe where you just left off a cliffhanger that really wasn't a cliff,
it felt like falling off a cliff.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you, Music Man. All right, I'm gonna skip all the fourth stuff about James Gunn. Sorry, I can't do it, dude. Larry Ellison wants to control everything. Yeah, I know that. DC Next Level. Yeah, so let's jump into that. Did you hear anything about that, Phil?
I'll read back, guys.
What?
DC Next Level.
I just thought it was like another arm of books they're gonna do for the time being. I didn't see it as like a reboot or anything like that. It's just a couple more books they're gonna do for the year, for next year.
All right, so apparently this is something else this guy. I don't know what Scott Snyder's position is right now, but he's significant.
Yes, he is.
So we got this. I'll bring this up on the. Come on, there. Come on, StreamYard. All right, that's the people who are working on it. So this is Come on, there we go. So this is the books that they got lined out for this.
I mean, they're all old books that were canceled some time ago. I mean, I have Wolfman's Deathstroke the Terminator. I remember when Batwoman was a title in the early 2000s. Firestorm the Nuclear Man is something from the 80s. Shadow of the Bat was an anthology series over the course of many different writers and artists. And Lobo was an ongoing thing. Jason Momoa has his whole fucking run. I think Zatanna did have her own run at one point. I don't know what the Demon is. And then Barbara Gordon Breakout, that seems brand new. And then they have more, Next Level. I don't know about branding initiative. It just seems like it's more DC books. Not really much else to it than that. I don't know. I don't really read too deep into it.
All right, so I do, and here's why: because of who's handling it. And I think this is going to spawn. I will have more details for you guys on tomorrow night when I get more information. Like I said, this came through right as I was getting the show set up.
So let me ask you this: are all the names in the order that they're on screen right now? Are they all attached to the various projects that they are ordered in? So, for example, is Greg Rucka working on Batwoman?
I think so. I think Lemire is working on so and so. I think that is correct.
That makes sense. Okay,
I will give clarification for you though,
because Greg Rucka is one of the creators of Batwoman, so that makes sense.
Now, everything that we've gotten from DC in the last year has come from All In.
Mm-hmm.
Because even Absolute DC is All In.
Mm-hmm.
It spawned each other. So, and Scott Snyder was the one who posted this, who brought this up. So it sounds like this is something else that he's using. It's at the end of DCKO. This is what is the next step. I am skeptical about everything until I hear that his name's attached to it. When he told me at Comic-Con, and we're going to bring back Bane and Doomsday, and my stomach kind of sunk a little bit. But then I'm like, you know what? This guy's taking us on a ride. I trust Scott Snyder. He could be Mitchell Pixlook, and I would be like, you know what? Is it absolute Mitchell? Okay, I'm down. So even though those are all comics that pretty much either got canceled or had their run, the fact that he's doing it as something that's being spawned from All In, I am intrigued. I will need to get more information about it to be even more intrigued. But so far, he hasn't given me something that I've been like, oh, what a fucking disappointment. And we're going on almost 2 years now. Because we had to build up to All In. We had All In Special. We had All In number 4. And then we've had 12 to 13 issues now of each of these titles. So there's some staying power with what he's doing. Let's see, part of these next album, Barb going, yeah, they're all coming. Plus now you'll have Lobo coming out while you have Supergirl on the screen with Lobo.
Mhm.
So that's sitting. That gives me a little bit of hope that, you know what, maybe you're not sitting at the same table like I want you to, but you can lean back and see Jim Lee, and you can lean back and see the spiky-haired, gray-haired guy. You know, you're close enough to each other to where maybe some of these ideas are jumping off on one another. So, you know, give me quarter vowels.
You know, Jim Lee and a bunch of other creators were on the set of Superman. I mean, I'd have to imagine there's some level of.
There's got to be. And if there's not, dude, fix that, please, guys. I mean, the brand, it's not just a movie. It's not just about promoting one movie. It's not just about promoting a con. It's promoting everything. Take all their money. Just don't take the movie money. Antonio, you're a piece of shit. Oh, wow. Okay, you guys are having a post-Batman backbreak. I can see it being problematic for the comic telling. Yeah. With all the Agile stuff that didn't sell. But the initial Bane intro to Batman breaks. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And what drives me crazy is because, and here's the thing, I think this, like I said last night, this is what made me loathe these stories even more, is that they've been adapted in other places. And I'm like, you got 8 decades of these characters, and this is what you keep rehashing? Well, they've only done the death of Superman twice. Batman, like I said, there's not enough reason. It's not like The Dark Knight Rises can ever be redeemed for me, because I think the trilogy is overrated. Yeah, come at me. I don't care. I think the trilogy is overrated, and I think that's a bad movie full of people that I would never thought that would put a bad movie out. But we got to break Batman in this because we did it in the comics. So we got to break his Batman. I'm like, wow, somebody paid you guys to come to do that. You know, somebody paid you for the price of an old comic. That's what you're giving me. So no, I think that's why those storylines are even more. And it's like they're headline grabbers. And maybe it's because I was there when the Joe Sixpack came off. Hey, you got any of those Superman 75s? And bought 10 of them. And then came back next week. Hey man, I got something to sell you. Oh, now let me guess. And everybody that comes in wanting to sell comics has one of those things. I'm like, you realize you've held on to that quite a while. Why? And then I went to Comic-Con and I was flipping through trying to look for an Ultimate or asking Batman to get Scott Snyder to sign. Dude, this guy had a block of these things, and you know Comic-Con is expensive, right? The worst place you want to buy a back issue is at a fucking convention or that kind of convention. Guess what wasn't very expensive? And the first 2 guesses don't count. All right. Superman 75. If I wanted it, I could have had several of them, but I didn't. So yeah. We don't need any of that stuff. So yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with limited. This will be their first limited series too, by the way, which is okay with me. All right. So what happened? What happened? What else happened on Ultimate is going away, which is a sad sack. Swamp Thing and Something is Killing Studios. Boom Studios does very well for me. I have not jumped in yet to the Black Label version of Swamp Thing, which will eventually be the Vertigo version of Swamp Thing, but I have heard nothing but good things about it. But so far, Boom Studios really misses with me. They do very well for the size of studio they are. And they basically kind of replaced I wish I could have been at this fucking panel. 3,000 miles. But they basically took up where Vertigo left off.
Mm-hmm.
If you read some of the stuff that Boom Studios is doing, that was Vertigo. That was 1995 Vertigo at its best. And now the marriage is coming about to where the influencer is meeting the influenced. And I think this is great. What do you guys think about this? I know Vertigo was before Brad's time. Well, both your times, actually. Fucking kids. What do you think about
I briefly worked at a comic book store, and I've read, some of the Doom Patrol when it was part of the Vertigo line. Yeah, the Grant Morrison run. I I'm always game for comic books, man. I'm not gonna boo hiss something. I think if you have an idea, that hasn't been done before, specifically in this case, this is a Black Label book, and I remember Something is Killing the Children. I think that's Tynan, right? That was Tynan, James Tynan the fourth. Yeah. So taking the two ideas, Swamp Thing and Something's Killing. Yeah, sure, why not? It's not, it's a natural progression of crossovers. I mean, I remember when DC did the whole crossovers with the Looney Tunes. I remember, Godzilla and the Justice League. I remember
By the way, which is on my shelf now, and it's doing very well.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat versus Justice League.
Right. We're about to get it again with DCKO with a couple other new characters. It's live action Elseworld TV shows and movies like DC. They already did a movie. It's called Fantastic Four: First Steps.
But that's all that's going to factor into the main line.
Technically,
so it's not going to. It's not going to.
It's not on the main timeline
yet. Yet, but it was always designed to be. But because they're going to merge all this,
it's not going to be running parallel like the Sony Spider-Man stuff with the MCU. So
let's just not bring that up. Let's just not bring up that universe at all.
Yeah, rational. I'm going to give you this.
That's not a good example.
Rational. Here's the answer is going to be no after Post Secret Wars, because like I've always said, when it comes to multiverse, Marvel uses it as a tool to get from point A to point B. DC, when DC's being ran right, it's a discipline. It is a discipline.
Here's their problem, right?
Thank you for the $5 super chat, by the way.
Yes. Always support William, support the Sci-Fi Center. It's right there, youtube.com at the Sci-Fi Center. When it comes to Elseworld stuff specifically, I think DC has had the one up and leg up on Marvel on this since the beginning, since the very beginning. And I mean that in the sense of the Richard Donner Superman movie is both a Superman movie and it is a Richard Donner movie, right? And you have Burton's Batman movie. It is a Batman movie. It is Tim Burton's Batman movie. But then, you get down the line, you get Spider-Man from Raimi, and that's very much a Raimi movie. It's also the first Spider-Man movie, right? And then you also get, X-Men from He Who Shall Probably Not Be Named and Should Not Be Named. I think when it comes to doing Elseworld stuff, DC has kind of had the one up on Marvel because they already had the reboot Elseworld taking place in a different universe notion happening in real time, because they went from, George Clooney to fucking Christian Bale. Whereas with Marvel, they just kind of bounced around, and then they started with Iron Man and their universe was forged. Whereas DC started a universe, we saw what happened. And then they did something I don't think anyone saw coming. They made a standalone movie about the Joker, and then they made a standalone movie about Batman that was not tied to the DCEU. They did two different Elseworlds in a 3-year time span. And that completely gave them, on top of the fact that Warner Brothers also released the first successful comic book superhero film centered around a woman, i.e. Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. They got the one up on Marvel and being like, we can do different stuff because we, at the time, allow our filmmakers to do their thing. Whereas the perception of Marvel is, you come in our sandbox, you will fit in our sandbox.
Pretty much.
And so Marvel, even now, what did they do? What was their first foray into multiverse storytelling? What if? Loki, sure, but mostly what if. That is where if they want to tell an Elseworld story, they can just shove it in what if. That's literally what Marvel multiverse storytelling has been relegated.
Yeah, it's a tool. It's a tool in the box. Whereas DC, it's the house. It's
a fucking identity.
Yeah,
in a sense.
It's in the DNA. So yeah, to answer that question, Music Man. I love Boom City. Do I have? Oh yeah, I carry a bunch. We did a tour. Yeah. We'll do a more detailed tour, guys, man, when I'm ready for it. When my store's not Niagara Falls. But yeah, we'll do a tour. I carry Boom. I carry DC. I carry some local stuff with people who bring.
Boom
stuff.
also did what they did that what have they done that I really they did a Keanu Reeves comic.
Berserker.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, by the way, we saw Keanu Reeves last Comic-Con. He was there with Berserker.
Yeah,
you did. I did.
Huh? That's gonna be they're doing that.
I wasn't in Hall H when that happened. You did.
All right. Yeah, that was cool. I carry that. I mean, I carry all kinds of stuff.
They got one called Grim I got into a couple of months ago. Yeah, Boom Studios, they're pretty they do a lot of cool like
You got
off-wall
Dynamite. You got Dynamite.
Yeah.
I got Image. I mean, some of these indies are getting bigger now. They started out as like really big risks. Now they've started to gain IPs. But yeah, I'll carry just about anything. A lot of the stuff I carry is basic, but as my local market is starting to grow a little bit more, some of those guys want indie stuff. Some of those guys want, short run stuff, from different eras. But your basic tourist that comes to the store is views these things in the periphery. Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr. to them. So that's a different market. But yeah, I do carry just about everything, a little bit of everything. So but yeah, good question. Let's see. All right. So what else did we do? What else did I know the Wonder Man had a trailer. Does anybody care about?
I am interested in that only because I want to see how the superhero movie makes fun of making the superhero movie. I want to see how that plays out because we've seen this. I mean, I've seen the studio. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
And they're Seth Rogen.
Yes.
Okay. I have not seen it.
It's a pretty solid inside, well, not inside look, but a pretty solid like perspective on just like how interesting the movie,
how the sausage is made.
Yeah, pretty much. And I feel like that's what Marvel is doing with this, but instead of it just being about movies, they're specifically honing in on superhero movies. And I think that's quite an interesting thing for a TV show to do, because who's making it? Marvel Studios. How are they gonna? Will they make fun of themselves? I'm sure they will. I think they might very well like poke fun at the fact of like, they make movies with unfinished scripts. They,
by the way, what's wrong with that?
Their VFX departments. I don't personally. You look at making movies, and it's a case by case basis because not every movie is made the same way.
Yeah,
it's almost like having an opinion on bodily autonomy or something like that. It's a case by case basis, is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like rather not an opinion on body autonomy, but rather the ramifications of what can happen with bodily autonomy. My point is like it's a case by case basis thing. In terms of making a movie, not one thing. Sure, that you have the bare basics. You have the camera, you have your mics, you have your gaffers, you have your composer who scores the film. You're bare minimum. But when it comes to writing, when it comes to acting in scene, missing scene, when it comes to having your people present in real time, when it comes to ad-libbing, when it comes to just performances, when it comes to being in the moment, when it comes to even happy accidents, I think a lot of people really get lost and in the pre and post narrative of making movies now, especially in a post Snyder Cut world. And since we're in a post Me Too world too, we've seen some really ugly things about a lot of ugly people behind the scenes. So it's really kind of maybe altered some perspectives on movies from the past. Whereas for other people, it's a little easier to kind of separate art and artist and talk about the things as they are.
The entertainment.
No. Shut me up and play the trailer, please. No, because I'm just rambling at this point.
Real quick though, when it comes to the whole finished script thing, I'm like, I guess to each his own. But if you have a basic idea and you have the apparatus to adjust, I'm okay with you going forward with the idea. When James Gunn says I don't want to go forth with anything like a complete script, I'm wondering, and this is the question, if that will slow down the process from being the sleek thing that it needs to be to get to point to point. You know what I mean?
The original Iron Man had a very loose script from it. He did not have a lot script. Yeah. So that turned out very well for it. So
because if I'm waiting, if I'm moving a certain thing because I like the script better, and there's something else in that lineup that needs to be there sooner, I'm thinking maybe, okay, what do we have? Who do I have directing? Who do I have writing? Can these people work on the fly and adjust as we need to? Does there really need to be? Because like I said, I think that might be slowing down the process of things if he needs to have things that concrete. Because I don't think once you start doing things, what if you're starting to watch the dailies, right? And you're sitting down and it's like, ooh, wow, this doesn't work for me. Maybe we need to make an adjustment. isn't that kind of what you'd be doing if you'd have just started that way? Maybe I'm not, but I'm not a filmmaker, so there you go. All right, guys.
Case by case
You're,
basis, like I said,
yeah.
it's a case by case basis. And when it comes to this, I think the interesting point of view is like, what does the superhero movie studio have to say about making a superhero movie?
All right, here we go. Wonder Man. Yahya Mateen.
The entertainment world is stunned today when internationally celebrated and reclusive filmmaker Von Kovac sprung out of retirement to sign on for a remake of Wonder Man. Mr. Von Kovac, could you tell us more?
Everyone is tired of superheroes.
Does he look
There
familiar?
is an opportunity to reimagine a whole genre of story.
The dictator of Barovia.
Yeah.
So, what's this big audition you were talking about?
It's a huge opportunity. I'm auditioning for Wonder Man.
Did you hear about Wonder Man? I need to be in this movie.
What you're auditioning for?
Sorry, you crazy.
I was born to play this character.
Are you serious? Boo, they are already talking to Leo.
You just gotta go out there and crush it.
What's wrong?
I'm trying to come up with a backstory for the character.
Well, trust the words. Just show up and say them.
No, that's not my process.
Well, your process can go blow a spider.
Guy's killing it in there, bro.
Where have I seen him before?
Pretty sure he used to be a terrorist.
You can slate whenever you're ready.
Simon Williams, reading for Wonder Man.
Listen to me, Simon. The callback is happening now. Just be normal. Normal, man. The breakdown is go method.
Come in. Mr. Kovac will meet you in the living room.
So you all here to meet Von Kovac? Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone. I want to explore the place between fiction and non-fiction.
That's tight.
We are going to make the last movie on Earth. No one will have the balls to make another. And action! Any news from Von Kovac?
There is news you'll be the first to know, unless you call me again, in which case I will never tell you.
That trailer doesn't do anything for me.
I know, I'm intrigued. That looks interesting, especially with the. Oh, we're on here twice now.
That trailer. Hold on, let me get off mic because I'm talking. Trailer. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Dictator of Barovia. That dude. I mean, now, especially with the Albert Einstein hair he's got.
I gotta admit, when I saw him, I was like, oh, okay. He's in this now. Okay, that's, whatever.
So there's no superpower.
I think they're keeping that vague. I think they're intentionally keeping that vague because I know Simon Williams does get powers eventually, of whether or not he will. But I think like they told that somewhere in a synopsis said that like he is a superpowered being who is an actor. So I know that's the basis in the comics, but I think they might be doing that here, but I don't know. I have no idea. I just like Abdul Mateen second, so I'm gonna watch the show one way or the other.
Well, he's Dr. Manhattan, man. I mean, of course.
I mean, Black Manta too, so it means he joins the ranks of actors who have done both DC and Marvel roles.
That's true. This is very true.
Yeah, but yeah, his role of Black Manta pales in comparison to.
Black Manta was like when it comes to, like the villains of the Aquaman, we was like Black Manta was like he fucking stole it for me. Black Manta was like
in that movie, maybe. But yeah, he's like I said, solid actor. I'm just like, I mean, I don't see anything in the trailer that like really does anything for me yet. I guess I got to see when is it coming. Well, it's January.
January. It was supposed to be December, but they moved it by a month. So,
oh yeah, that's right. He gets his powers on the movie set.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, okay. I think that's what happens in because he's experimented by some film. It's in the energy because he's energy. That's why when Rogue touches him, he doesn't.
That's right. Okay.
I'm good on this one. Only project I'm hyped for Disney is Marvel X-Men. I have no hype for X-Men 97. I think that the first season I saw was markedly better than what I saw back in the 90s, but that's a beneath bar. That's not even a low bar. That's under the ground bar. And they only did that because they realized that the people that were in diapers when they first showed it are now, well, how old are they now? Let us count. Okay, we can't show them that anymore.
33.
Yeah. So yeah, you can't show a 33-year-old some shit that you were showing fucking infants back in '92. So yeah, but I have, like I said, next to 97, all that stuff like that. I'm really like, and that's another thing about that. Okay, going back to what Marvel does. Are we going to get some new ideas? I know a lot of people don't have calendars, like paper calendars on the wall anymore, but you got this little thing that I invented years ago called the cell phone. And on that cell phone, you have a calendar. Mine says 2025. Not in the 90s anymore. What is the fucking infatuation with the 90s now? I mean, it's like a tether to Marvel. It's like, come on, we stop reliving the 90s ideas and let's come into the 2020s. Hey, come into the 2010s. How about that? Let's do that. I'll compromise. I'll meet you halfway. But yeah.
Well, in 2010, Dick Grayson was Batman. I'd like to go back to that time.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
Yeah, he was Batman at the time because Grant Morrison had him.
Well, that was R.I.P. Batman, right? Was that R.I.P. Batman?
Yeah, that was Final Crisis.
Oh, Final Crisis.
R.I.P. was before Final Crisis.
Yeah. Which
because it goes
Alex Ross covers. Oh, I still got some of those. I
Black
got those covers signed by Alex Ross too.
It goes Black Glove. I think R.I.P. Final Crisis, and then there's Batman and Robin Reborn, and then alongside Batman and Robin Reborn in 2010, Morrison did a 6-issue miniseries called Bruce Wayne: The Road Home, in which you find out that Batman was in fact not killed by Darkseid. He was thrown back in time, and he inherently, it is inherent to him to become Batman no matter what timeline he is in, and eventually he makes his way back to present time, but unbeknownst to him, Darkseid has actually turned him into like a fucking bomb of some sort. I don't remember exactly what, but everything gets all fucking fixed, and he comes back and he becomes Batman again, and he starts Batman Incorporated, which is essentially like a network of Batmen around the world, and he operates that while Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne operate in Gotham City. It was a fun time for Batman.
That was a good run, and then the next couple of years,
New 52 came in, and yeah. Well, New 52 Batman wasn't bad.
No, because they kind of left him alone mostly.
Right. But him and Green Lantern were the only ones that were really like untouched.
Yeah,
their continuity.
Kind of like jammed up. And Final Crisis was one of those things that was like penicillin for Crisis. It was one of the things that they spent the following 40 years by fixing something that she should have never done anyway. Because I'm always going to contend, I'll take it to my grave. 1985, 1986 Crisis was the worst mistake DC ever made.
And even then, people still like have their gripes with Final Crisis because of certain things with like Superman and certain things that he goes after. I don't know. I always thought Final Crisis was pretty banging personally.
I thought Final Crisis was necessitated by poor decision making prior to them.
That's understandable.
You wouldn't need to do some of the things because remember they fucked up the Legion, they fucked up the Superboy in role in the Legion.
Right.
And John Byrne, thank you, John Byrne, for a whole lot of other stuff, but not that. And they kept it that way, and they kept trying to relaunch Legion of Superheroes, and it kept at Mon-El. And I'm like, what? So they could never really get back to it until they basically reset that. And that's why, like I said, when the Superboy comic came out, I'm like, oh, dude, and then Superman, Son of Kal. I was like, oh my goodness, let's just get back to the basics. Let's just uncrisis.
Well, Aaron was a fan.
I mean, to be fair, I bought Superman Son of Kal because I like Tom Taylor. It's the only reason I got that book, because I think Tom Taylor's a great writer. But I grew to like John Kent. But that was 4 years ago. I have no idea what's even going on now with Jonathan Kent and.
The book got canceled. That
sucks.
Yeah, canceled. That was inevitable. William, people online say that the world Peacemaker is trapped in is created by Darkseid and comics at Salvation. Can that mean Darkseid is a big bad for DCU Chapter 1? I don't know. And even if he was, it may be years and years before we see him. And I don't know, because he's pulled things abstract wise to the point where he hasn't entirely used any particular aspect that he's brought up. So it could lead to nothing. It could lead to Fourth World without Darkseid. I don't know if James Gunn is still going to be with the company by the time he gets to that point, because that's literally years away. And he's given you no other clues to that, because you have to actually look up that land to know that's what that is. There's no overt link to anything, anything he's doing, which I thought should have happened.
On that note, is maybe a good segue to.
Sure. I know, Phil, I know this is probably you're going to jump out of the plane. I understand why. I don't know if you want to stick around for Peacemaker talk, but you're welcome to. But I can see right now. You're all welcome to stick around for as long as you want to, but we're about to cut open Peacemaker, do the Y incision, and take out the organs and see what.
Phil, if everybody was watching the box review, I think you can probably tell he enjoyed it about as much as a lot.
I haven't seen a single episode.
Yeah, you haven't seen it.
I've not seen a single episode of the second season.
Okay.
I didn't want to watch it. I don't care. I don't care to.
Yeah. I can completely.
And as far as spoilers go, spoil away. I don't give a shit. I already know what happened. I'm not I open threads. I see things about the show. These things are not surprising to me.
Tom King's favorite disciple. If there was a church of Tom King, here's the Pope. Here's the Archbishop. Here's everything. The one man religion.
Why did I show up to this stream tonight? I was gonna go play Battlefield 6, and I was like, you know what? I'll go hang out with William, and then he drops this.
Did you watch Peacemaker at all?
Yes, I did.
What did you? Okay, I'm gonna ask you.
Yes, I did.
Out excluding episode 8. Up to that point, what were you thinking about the series going into?
It was a vast improvement from season 1 up to episode 8. I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this a lot more. Except for a few scenes, I feel like he kind of cooled it on a lot of the infantile humor that was present in season 1. I like the basic character arc that Peacemaker goes on. And then I watched 8. It just ruined it for me.
Yeah, it didn't stick to landing. And with Film Junkie, when I use the word pointless.
Yeah, it was.
I use the word pointless. I don't know if it's pointless. I'm like, okay, dude. Let's go from one. We went from one segment to the show, and there was no point to anything. That whole rock ballad with Nelson, like I said, I'm like, dude, anybody besides me and James Gunn right now know who Nelson is? And I'm looking around, and I'm like, no.
Well, the other thing is all that Earth X stuff, useless. Because I'm like, I thought that was going to at least play more of a role, and then it's like, nope. And I'm like,
not immediately. But his brother's going to come back.
Obviously, the other big thing about it too is how much Gunn himself is really. And for those I tried to get William and I the screeners for the, and he was only giving out the first 5 episodes. And Gunn he hyped the last 3 nobody's business. He said oh man, this is I haven't
so many cameos.
I haven't shown my publicist this yet. It's going to be so mind blowing.
I wonder why you didn't show the press. I'm starting to wonder why.
Yeah, and then we get to that.
I didn't even get one big. If Lex was the big cameo, then to me that was a given.
Yeah, that was the Justice Gang. And then you I made this point on social media, and I told William offline, is because the one thing Gunn says the pitch for the finale Peacemaker specifically is that's what got him the job at DC Studios, and it said, listen, if that's what got Gunn the job, then David Zaslav's got to be the most easily impressed dude to ever walk the face of the earth.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like that is just as soon as I watched that, as soon as it ended, literally the first thing I said out loud was, "That's it."
That's what I said. I think that was collectively nationwide.
I was like, wait a minute here. I was checking at the end to make sure there weren't any post-credit scenes. Nothing. Yep. Nothing.
It's just them outtakes of them talking, and I'm like, okay, because a post-credit scene can save a bad production, a bad episode, or a bad movie sometimes. Yeah. My biggest problem with this whole thing, and I said this last night, was I didn't need it to be a cameo fest. I didn't need it to be any of that. What I need a season
That would have been
finale
better
to
than we
be,
got, though.
no matter what show I'm watching, I need the last episode to be consistently good as the previous 7 that led me to this point. I'm here because of that quality. And when you put out something that was not consistent with the quality from the previous 7 episodes, I'm left wanting. It's really hard for me to really, like, like I said, if you can't land the plane, doesn't matter how good the trip was. Nobody's gonna fucking care when we're all dead.
And
So.
and of course, for like our audience, we were like in the weeks leading up to this episode with the whole like 100 other universes and portals and the Skull Spider freeze. It's like we were we were like running theories like left and right about what could happen, what could entail, who could show up, and it's like, okay, you go to the gingerbread land place and hang out there for 5 minutes, and quick little glimpse of the Skull Spiders, and then it's a rock concert, and Harcourt and Chris are good, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's the boat. I heard all season about what happened on the boat, mean anything. I'm thinking they banged the shit out of each other. I'm thinking they banged. I thought they did some fatal attraction, some fucking whatever, and I'm like, holy shit, that's what I was thinking. And it's like, oh, we just hugged and kissed and sang along to Nelson. By the way, Music Man, congratulations. There are now 3 of us who knew who that was. James Gunn.
But it's like the other problem, and then it's like the other thing he did, which checkmate. As soon as you saw Sasha Bordeaux, Checkmate is down the line eventually. So I'm like,
if you are a geek like us, yes. If you are a geek,
in no way was that in any way a shock. And like the only thing that this really has is like that alternate reality that they're going to have on the prisons. But even on that, the alternate reality part was really disappointing, because I thought, oh, is he going to open a door and then maybe, obviously it would be a pipe dream if like Henry Cavill's Superman was there, but it's like, are you going to show like other realities and stuff? But no, it's just stupid, like a candy reality.
That ate your face.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, that's the potential was there, and you literally peed on it.
And you got 100 of those doorways like peer through, and it's like,
All right, 88 of you watching now, please like, subscribe, share, and come over to YouTube. Come over to us right there. Oops, I can't see it.
The other thing about it too, and like, I know everybody's not necessarily the biggest fan of Grace Randolph, but like one point she made is like where they leave Chris on the Salvation reality is they leave him out in this like open field, and it's like
it was the sound of music. I was waiting for the hills to be, with Clark from coming off from the Griswolds. James Gunn said from the start he never wanted DC to be MCU 2.0. That's fine. I'm not judging James Gunn's product by a Marvel standard. I'm judging James Gunn's product by James Gunn's standard that he set. I play by the rules that the creator has set me on from episode 1 up till now. And when you veer off that road, or when you give me something that's not consistent with what you gave me, I don't need Marvel. I don't even need another director. That was episode 7 was some of the best comic book storytelling I've seen in a long time. And you can't follow that up with episode 8. You got it. I needed episode 9 to make up for that. So yeah, in Marvel, I understand him not wanting to be that, but okay, cool. But be a better James Gunn. Be the James Gunn you gave me the first 7 episodes. You see what I mean? So that's fair enough,
And it's like the other thing is that it seems like he said that like he's directing all of the projects that are going to be telling his story. And I'm like, so you're telling me that like first he says there is no like central story of the DCU, and then he says there is one, and then he says there isn't one. And I'm like, this is the problem, this constant changing his mind about something, because if you're going to do it like Star Wars, where like currently there isn't like a lot of like a essential story being told, that's fine. Do that. Embrace that. But if you're just going to keep going back and forth on it, I'm like, pick a lane, bro. Just pick a lane.
Well, there is, when you have a DCU, guess what that you mean? It's connected.
It's a universe. Yeah.
There is a central story, whether you design it that or not, because there has to be cohesiveness for somebody to hold on to. There has to be a bar for you to hold on to when you're going to swing off the merry-go-round. And the customer is wants that. They want that continuity. The reason why, and people who always say, well, I don't need everything to be a universe. Just make me a good movie. Get the fuck out of here with that, please.
Those are the same people who now say they want Pattinson to be the Batman in the DCU, by the way.
The customer wants to know when they put down their money for your one movie that dollar means more than just one movie. They want value, and the universes give them value. They're buying into something much bigger than their $10 or $15 is paying for on any given night. So the customer has been conditioned to that. So when people say, well, just make a good movie, yeah, that sounds good at the popcorn stand or on a small YouTube screen. But for continuity and business reasons, that's never going to happen anymore. Not with comic book movies. Now, you means universe. That's what you're selling me. So I'm okay with the continuity. But my thing about it is it's just a matter of I just wanted some I didn't even get consistency between General Flag from Creature Commandos, who's supposed to be the same character now. And I promise you, if there's a general, retired or otherwise, in the midst of a subordinate dying, I don't care if he can say his name. I don't care if that general doesn't know whose Private Snuffy was before he got his face eaten out. That general knows that's someone under his command. That guy has to sign a letter to that person's family.
Yeah.
That guy coming up through the ranks has lost buddies and lost people in their command. And if you're in a leadership position, you weep for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's all on you. Even if you are never in the presence. When there's a president or a general, I remember one of the generals of the Third Army when I was overseas gave a speech saying, "I want you all to come home safe, because even if I never get within 6 feet of you, every one of your lives and death are on me. I am responsible for you coming home in one piece. I owe it to a leader. I owe it to your parents and your wives and that. And when I see General Flag, I'm like, I wish he would have, looked at that, but he's laughing, which makes me think maybe he is Clay. Maybe that's Clayface. Maybe guess what? That fight with Clayface, he didn't really win that fight. It was Clayface that walked away from it. I don't know. Maybe there's a reason for that, but yeah, I thought that was odd that they were all laughing and partying as they were bringing in dead bodies and stuff like that.
It'd be really funny if you ended up being right about that. It'd be fucking hilarious,
actually.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but and again, it's like that's just a cop out, and I'm like,
I take it though.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, but it's like this universe. Every time I think it's doing something interesting, it does something else to screw it up. We had the Jor-El scene in Superman, where I'm like, are you kidding me? And then we get to this, and I'm like, because again, I want to be clear, I hated Peacemaker season 1. I thought it was like. It was turned up to like, but when you get to like season 2, where I thought they were doing something interesting, which they were, and then it's essentially like he didn't walk back, he tripped backwards.
Yeah. I kind of like season 1 after episode 4, because the first one we did watch alongs of the first 2 or 3 of them, and it was like, oh my god! And then there was a turning point, and it's had me on. Like I said, the fact that I was so disappointed with episode 8 is because I liked the show. So, all right, what's worth finale of Alien Earth or Peacemaker?
Peacemaker.
Yeah, they both had pointless moments in them, and they were both not good finales. But Peacemaker had momentum to be more than it ended up being, and it just wasn't. Whereas Alien Earth, there wasn't much there that they left you with. They just didn't leave you with anything, and the story didn't go anywhere. We got, like I said this last night, when you have 8 episodes and you have limited real estate to tell your story, use that real estate. You can't leave me hanging. Some of these shows take 1 to 2 years to get back on the air. It's not like the old days where you had 26 episodes, and then it ended in May on a cliffhanger or June on a cliffhanger, and then you had your summer, and by the time it was time to go back to school again, you had your brand new season and the cliffhanger was solved. Nowadays, if you have a cliffhanger on a streaming service, you literally might have kids that are walking and talking by the time that shit's sewn up. So if you have 8 episodes, use them all. Stranger Things.
Okay, now I'm gonna bow out. You just mentioned the thing that makes me want to go.
That's all it took. You
But
don't
no,
want to
no, I don't. But my wrist is fucking with me. I'm tired. I am gonna dip.
I was going to make a very sordid joke there, but I'm not.
Thanks for the invite.
Because I can only see from the waist up. So hey, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Thanks for the invite.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man.
Of course. Take care.
All right. What was I saying?
After you very inappropriate your wrist joke.
Yeah. Or you get demonetized anyway. But no, it was you when you only had Stranger Things. I know Bill filled that, but Stranger Things it gives you a lot in the 8 to 9 episodes you get from that show. And when you are leaving, this last season 4 is some of the best TV I've ever seen. They left you on a cliffhanger, but they left you in a way that was consistent with the buildup of the rest of the show. And it's taken a while to get to season 5, but the story was consistent with that. Mm-hmm. I didn't see that with Alien Earth and Peacemaker. I liked both of those shows. I love Alien, but where they left Alien Earth was like, and then you're not even. I knew you were getting
your best show right now.
I haven't watched the second season.
Well, Wednesday is more consistent than what we got in Peacemaker this season, definitely.
And you're doing that with Alien Earth with no season 2 greenlit. The thing with Stranger Things is I knew before season 4 we were getting a season 5.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that, but I don't know if I'm getting Alien. I'm assuming we're getting it, but why wouldn't you know that fucking Star Trek has their last 2 seasons greenlit?
That's another example I'll bring up is Young Justice, because that the last season that they made ended in a cliffhanger, even though that was supposed to be the last season. But it's like they're like, oh, in the event we get more episodes. But I'm like, bro, if you don't know you're not going to, if you haven't already been greenlit and you don't know you're going to be greenlit, end the story. Tell a complete story to end it.
You can set up, do like Game of Thrones. You can resolve everything in the season and set me up for the next season. And that's what Game of Thrones did consistently. They would set you up for the very next season. No, I wouldn't say that. I would say the cliffhanger was. I wouldn't say that. Everything's the worst to you though, Fourth. Everything is like the worst. It's like everything's Huey Bowl with you. It's like, come on, man. All right, what else was on? We covered Wonder Man, which I didn't mean to do, but I figured why not.
I think it's premature.
Well, I think I covered enough everything. You got anything to add, Jared? I know you came in a little bit later because you were putting out content.
Not about the satisfaction with Wonder Woman comic book writers.
I could go on for 2 hours on that, but
What did you discuss on your show today? Because like I said, I didn't have time to steal.
So we were doing a character comparison of Wonder Woman and Jessica Cruz Green Lantern, who is currently my favorite Green Lantern. But
I saw it, and you talking about the eyepiece that came about,
which I love. But it's like with Peacemaker, and it was a big disappointment, and it's like here's the thing. I also didn't like how Gunn was like, oh, I even tried to get Deadpool to in like one of those doors, and I'm like, aren't you the guy that said that you're never going to use cameos for stuff that's not going to be paid off? Or it's like when you talk about cameo porn, it's like he says one thing and does the complete opposite. That's the interesting part here that I'm having trouble tracking here.
I think that's the one problem, to be honest with you, that doesn't bother me, because the fact that this is all new and he's evolving. I won't hold him prisoner to something else he said, because guess what? I can look at the map of my plan, and then once those pieces start moving into places, then I change my mind and I evolve. I'm okay with that. But once you get me going in one direction, I think he's just got to learn to the point where these episodic things look differently to us as geeks than they do to somebody who has all the information. So when he says this is big, this is this, he's seeing everything. He knows how this is all going to end. He has to understand that we don't.
Yeah,
we
don't know where it's going.
Yeah, we're on a string. You need to help us out. Give us. Don't give us crumbs. Give me a piece of bread. Don't need the whole loaf. Just give me a little bit to go on for the 2 years. All right, Rational Skeptic William and panel. The problem is sometimes shows get the green light for a new season and the mid fling again. Well, certain shows, but here's the thing though, you can't then you can't tell a story that way because once by default, once you start with a story like Peacemaker and things like that, and you leave it that way, by default, you're saying that, you know, that there needs to be another season or either that or tell it in a way. Now, I can understand with Peacemaker not getting a green light because it won't be Peacemaker anymore. It shouldn't be about him. If it's about Checkmate, it's about an entire team that's much larger than him. That's fine with that. But when are we going to get that? That's like, I mean, he's like, well, this is tied directly to Man of Tomorrow. Okay, he has all of the script of Man of Tomorrow. He has the scripts of everything in between. I don't. Man of Tomorrow's 2027, dude. Like I said, I'm trying to make it through October 11th.
And here's the thing. Here's what he really doesn't realize, I don't think, is that if you keep doing this boy who cried wolf type of marketing, saying, this can be big, this can be big, this is going to be big. Guess what's going to happen when you keep doing that? The audience is eventually going to say, yeah, sure.
That's why I want someone who I want a mouthpiece that he speaks through and then puts all this stuff together to where it is presentable to us. Because right now, and I understand, I don't really hold this against him. He's a fan. He's excited. This is an exciting thing, and he's communicating to like a fan. But like I said, he's a fan that has everything on his screen. He can get excited about it. If I was looking at what James Gunn is looking at right now, I probably couldn't wait to talk to you about it. But I don't have all that though. So you have to string me along in a way that keeps me like, I don't know what you got planned for Lanterns. I don't know. Okay, this thing I didn't get in season 2, episode 8, you got it popping out somewhere else in a couple months. I don't know that. All I know is what you left me with. So I need somebody in an intermediate that communicates with me and, you know, and strings all this stuff together. And like I was saying on Drum Junkie last night, there needs to be somebody who looks at everything DC right now, puts it all together, and presents it to us in a format that we can understand and that we can cling on to. So if it's not getting it done for you one step at a time with cartoons and movies and TV shows, guess what? In the interim between now and Woman of Tomorrow or Lanterns, I should be guiding you towards the things that inspired all that. We should be talking about Woman of Tomorrow. We should be talking about that DC studio show. I'm sorry, that's been a bust for me. I understand why they get. I encourage them to get this together and get it done. But watching that show, given the personnel that is there, giving stories that are there to tell, giving what's inspiring you. Okay, guess what? We don't have any more episodes of Peacemaker, but there's a bunch of shit that happened in Peacemaker that we could be talking about. We got Lanterns coming up in hopefully less than 90 days. Let's start talking about who Jon Stewart is, because guess what? We can't assume that Joe Average grew up with the cartoon. Most of these people who are watching these things have never picked up a comic book, will never watch the animated series, will never, and like I said, I know everybody thinks that billions of people watch the CW. Most people did not.
They don't. Clearly. Like this way, if that were true, the studio would have made a profit once.
Yeah, and they did not. So we got to craft this to the person that has other movie and entertainment options at their disposal. And if you're DC, you have a wild card, because not only do you have these shows and these movies, you got this. You got the source where it all comes from. So I need somebody, and I said like a Sheldon type person, you know, just like a character that puts all this together and makes it pop culture. There's a lot of people that walk through my door that know certain things about comics because of Sheldon, because of the Big Bang Theory. Yeah. And that's not, by the way, guys, those comics, that is not a comic. Dude, that's like a fucking Shangri-La comic book store. They ain't watching this shit like that. But anyway, but you see how a caricature or a personality can become relatable. It's just like the Jack in the Box guy, the fucking dude with a fucking clown head on, selling you hamburgers. But people buy it because it's a relatable icon. Create a character that says, and every time you see him, you know you're about to get some information about DC, period. But I think they focus too much on the movies. And I always say, so fucking what? Superman made 600 whatever million. Or it could have made $1 billion. That's one crevice of your entire empire. Yeah. So yeah, I think they need to do a lot better. And I don't think it should be James Gunn. James Gunn should be popping up every now and then. But James Gunn's doing all kinds of other stuff, you know.
The other thing is like here's what they don't realize is that if you have a couple of movies that come out every few years that are great, that's fine. But here's the thing: if the TV shows that come out in the interim don't do well or piss people off or just get people apathetic, less and less people are going to show up to the movies or show up in the theaters to see the movies because they're going to be that's essentially what that leads to. It's like, look, it leads to that apathetic feeling because with the TV shows, essentially what it is, the time between movie releases are very vital to keep people interested. If you keep having finales like Peacemaker that get people either at best, at worst, then guess what happens? People don't care about the movies going forward.
I tend to think it's reversed.
Oh, okay.
Because if you look at the numbers that they put out for who watches TV shows, the movies tend to be. But I agree with that needs to change.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to hold the jury out until Lanterns. Because Lanterns is something that has been written by people who have done it at this level like this with TV shows. Lanterns is being done by the guy who gave me Watchmen, which is the greatest comic book TV show done. And it's coming from that guy and other people who understand comic books and things like that. I'm not saying that James Gunn doesn't, but his focus is on a whole bunch of other things right now where their focus is on that. Now, I think Peacemaker wasn't going to be that show that tided you over because of the nature of Peacemaker. You got full frontal nudity, that kind of shit. So, Lanterns, I think, is different because obviously the Green Lanterns in general are going to be more relatable. Nobody who knew who the fuck Peacemaker was before the Suicide Squad. There's a lot more people who know who the Green Lantern is. So I think in the way the Green Lantern is handled will be handled more like Game of Thrones. It's on a Sunday night. So there's going to be a much broader audience to it right there and then. So I think the Lanterns will be what you're asking for, whereas that interim, the quality is going. But then we'll have to see how Superman, Woman of Tomorrow is. This could go either way. There's no surefire just because we got James Gunn doing this that this is all going to be roses. Some people don't think what he's done has been roses. So there you go. Hunter, please retype your comment. I missed it. All right. Let's see. They got reggae blasted out here. William, should they replace Homelander with Omni-Man for DC?
No, because Homelander is more widely known than Omni-Man right now because of the Boys show. I will say, as soon as I saw that and I see like, okay, Red Sonja is gonna be in this. It's like, how many characters are you bringing in? I'm not complaining.
That's Scott Snyder, like I said, carrying his nuts around with a wheelbarrow because of Absolute Universe. But no, and plus I can't stand. I don't like Invincible anyway, so I'm biased. Sorry.
Really,
I hate the story, and that just didn't come about recently. I never liked it. I sold those comics. Those comics were on my shelf like 20-something years ago. That's an old story. It came out in 2002, 2003. It's been out for a while, and they followed the book. So I hate the art style. I don't like the. I'm not the biggest fan of the guy who writes it either. I'm in the minority of that. I know he's a legend to some people. He's not a legend to me. I don't hate him, but he hasn't written anything. I can't think of anything he's written that, for me personally, is like, ooh, wow. What, I need more pages of this now. And I was never a big fan of Invincible. The Boys, I was, even as a comic book. That's another one that's been out for a while that people think. Like I said, I get people coming in and like, ooh, they made a comic book out of that? No, sir. But anyway, here, take it anyway. But I'm a bigger fan of The Boys. I wasn't the biggest fan of this last season, but I was a big fan of Homelander's breakdown and interpretation than I was with the rest of the show. I thought this was a pretty weak season, and I need them to go ahead and wrap it up because I don't think it has any more wheels left on it. And Generation B sucks to me. I'm sorry. I probably get hate in that in the chat or whatever. I tried Generation B, and it just didn't. It was just a continuation of all the stuff that I kind of lost touch with The Boys. So. All right, let's see. Listen, I'm looking through the chat, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to talk to any of you people in person.
I think we're going to wrap it up anyway, guys.
Watchmen hasn't been. Did you seriously fucking type that in as something that belonged in this show?
Well, and plus, here's the thing.
Have I not educated you, Fourth, on the absolute uselessness of Rotten Tomatoes? Have I not described Rotten Tomatoes as useful as used toilet paper 2 times
exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm like, why do I care about a Rotten Tomatoes score?
I can't believe you. You're trolling me. That's what it is. You're trolling me. Lantern showrunners haven't even mentioned on Geo Comics.
Well, actually, they did. They said it's not based on any Green Lantern comics. It's basically Tom King's version of Green Lanterns, and I'm like, well, that's very concerning.
No, because that's not Wonder Woman. His run on Green Lanterns is fine, and he's it's a composite story. So I mean,
well, remember
you can't let what he did on Wonder Woman. He did. That's not every one of these guys has a bad day job.
Well, actually, I'm going off of the last time he wrote Hal Jordan, which was in his Batman run, and then he had Hal Jordan blow his own brains out.
Ron Mars did much worse.
And then Heroes in Crisis, where he has Hal Jordan go, "What even is willpower? I don't know."
Okay,
that's what he had to say.
They've been doing that with Green Lantern for 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
Every run of Green Lantern, he goes through that whole introspective self-doubt and shit, including when he blew up the power battery and tried to kill all the Green Lanterns. So yeah, I'm okay with his run.
But it's just it's when they say his own version of that, I'm like, that's the wording I don't like.
Well, John Byrne did that shit with man, and I had a problem there. These guys do. They're gonna
reboot too.
It was, but it was poorly handled. So
yeah.
I'm okay with like Tom King. None of these guys are probably going to give you a 1-to-1. They're probably going to look out the history of Green Lantern and consult with different Green people that they know, and give you a composite. Because for the average Joe, they don't need to give you anything inspired. They just have to have a basic knowledge of it. I'm fine with that. Let's see. I have a Peacemaker thing to bring. All right, we're gonna do this until 11 o'clock, and then we're gonna cut it off hard. I wish I had a timer to shut it down, because I know as soon as I do this, these scoundrels and malfeasance that are in the chat will make me instantly regret this. Mm-hmm. But if there's a timer on it, then I know I can only listen to certain people at certain times. Before I bring you guys in, no talking over each other, no talking over any of the host. All the trolling, leave it in the chat. I can take your trolling when I can just scroll past it, but if you're on the screen trolling me, you're just going to be gone. All right. Hello, Clint. How are you doing?
Hey, Clint.
Can you hear me? Oh, why the fuck did you bring him in?
Oh, sorry. I have to turn the volume off on the main stream when I go into this stream. It takes me a little bit.
How's everybody doing tonight? I don't care how you're doing, Forth. How are you doing, Clint?
But anyways, the Peacemaker thing, yeah, it was bad, but it's still following the first season. The good guys win. The second season, the bad guys win, and then the third season, the good guys ultimately prepare.
Yeah, but the same Gun said it's not going for a third season.
Mm-hmm.
At least not as Peacemaker.
Yeah.
At least not.
Okay, and that's why Alien Earth. It just I'm so mad at Alien Earth.
I'm disappointed at it. That the finale. I'm disappointed
at
the
finale. Just shit on everything that whole thing built up.
The writing the whole way through shit on Alien Earth.
Yeah,
exactly. No, I don't agree with that.
They couldn't even connect the whole thing with the kids to the main story of the plot. It was just to have it just because they wanted a Peter Pan and Wendy vibe. Because people got tired of Alice in Wonderland motifs.
That was a narrative decision that worked for the show.
It did not work because it didn't land anything.
No,
it just
didn't work for
existed.
you. It worked.
Well, explain how it worked for you. It did not do anything for the story.
Personalities and distinct roles and where they were at, especially, and they gave you a basic familiarization. They just didn't bring in those characters in their nickname. They explained to you who they were, why they were, and how they applied to the people who are now in those roles as a sense. I got that immediately, and that's not the problem I have with the show. The problem I have with the show is that once again, you gave me a final episode that was not consistent with the quality of the previous episodes. That's it for me. You may not like the role that they defined, and that's fine, but that doesn't have anything to do with the consistency of that finale. Wasn't good. You just didn't like the show, that's fine. That's
the incompetent characters left and right, scientists who walk into rooms without masks or any kind of protocol. You would be all over this thing if it were military general stuff.
Hey, Forrest, tell me what
I could do a marathon. I could do a marathon of stupid cops, stupid scientists, stupid people.
But that's your whole reason you didn't like the Trap movie, because you complained there was stupid decisions and stuff like that. But they're all present here, and you love it.
The Trap movie, I didn't like the Trap movie because it was kind of dumb. But
no, you said it was because of stupid character decision in the movie, and everybody was goofy, and that's all present in this series.
I'm not watching Trap. See, one movie doesn't come over to another movie. Just because I think another movie is fucking stupid doesn't mean those things will apply to every movie. That's you.
I know. Alien should actually have a higher standard than Trap.
I know. No, you don't decide that. You decide that for you. I don't carry over bullshit that I don't like from something else necessarily, because the way it was executed, the stupid shit in Trap doesn't apply to Alien Earth. It just doesn't. I wasn't watching Trap. You want to give me hold on. You wanted to give an opinion about Trap? I'll give you an opinion about Trap. You want me to give you an opinion about Alien Earth? Talk about Alien Earth.
Yeah, but you didn't even talk about the story on Trap. You only relegated to stupid decisions made by characters in Trap, which I thought would have carried over to characters.
I said that. The story was stupid. The only good thing about that movie was Josh Hartnett's portrayal of the character, which kind of fell apart at the end anyway. And the ending was stupid. I was taken out of the movie. I was not taken out of Alien Earth until the last episode. So you're trying to apply bullshit to other bullshit when it's not the same bullshit.
A standard. But yeah. Oh, you're saying something, Clint?
Log off. Have fun.
You're talking about a standard that does not apply to what we were talking about. The fuck does Trap have to do with Alien?
Your review of Trap was all about the logical consistency of characters that ruined a movie for you.
My review for Trap was about Trap.
But you're talking about logical consistencies of characters, which could apply to any other storyline.
No, can apply for you.
No, that was your review.
That's why it's my review. I don't have to apply the rules for a fucking stupid concert movie that fell apart.
Which had nothing to do with the story. You were just talking about logical consistency of characters.
I don't have to do that. That is not logical. That is your decision to use that criteria, and that's going to differ from one person to another.
And fourth, when has any alien movie ever had smart scientists in it?
What is horror movies in general don't have smart people in them.
And when have the alien movies ever had consistency? Like they change how long an alien gestates in a human being every single project.
And they're bulletproof now too, by the way, because nobody.
Wait. Are we talking about the good alien movies or the ones that came after where other people tried to do stuff? Because get that Romulus shit out of here.
It doesn't matter. They're all aliens. It doesn't matter.
I'm not on the technical side of like alien gestation thing. I'm not even talking about that. All right, name something from the beloved alien movies where they have logical inconsistency with the characters doing dumb things.
You had different characters in just about every movie except for her.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the example is
it does not apply.
Oh, okay. I thought there was examples. I thought there was examples, not generalities waiting for me.
Bringing the alien into the spaceship from the thing on its face. That was so.
Yeah, they thought you're talking about Alien 1?
Yeah, in Alien 1. Why did you bring in when it's explicitly protocol not to?
And they explicitly told you that they were breaking protocol, and so Weaver had a problem with it.
That's stupid. That's stupid people.
Stupid. You shouldn't have been able to
been in
do
these
it.
movies since they've been making these movies. You act like these.
Yeah, they call attention to the fact that they broke protocol because they thought they could save a person's life.
It's still stupid.
Still stupid. It doesn't make it any
It's-
less stupid. It doesn't matter if the movie acknowledges it. If it's dumb,
But it works
it's
for you in
freaking
that
dumb.
movie, which is
So-
fine. It's the
So if it's stupid, then why do you like the movie if it's stupid?
Any movie is
just-
going to have stupid
Yeah.
things in it. That's going to happen. No movie's perfect.
Yeah, and then the smart part is they logically admit it.
Of acceptable nonsense that even and it all depends on what I'm going into that movie for too. I went in the trap. I'm like, okay, sure. We sponsored the movie. I went to go see it. I didn't like it. I thought it was dumb, and I wasn't there for it. Your level of engagement is going to differ from me to you. That's why your review about my review about one movie to another movie, it should be pointless to you. There doesn't need to be consistency because guess what? There's a lot of factors that go into the night I go see a movie. I might feel like shit when I see a movie. I might give it, who knows what kind of review I might give a movie. There's a lot of factors into one individual's movie, and then I might go see another movie on Thursday that might be even dumber, but you know what? The stupidness is presented differently. Maybe I may be biased. I'm allowed to be biased. I pay to go see the movie. So it's not a master.
You can have biases. You may believe that. I listen to you when you say stuff about certain projects. So I go, okay, William doesn't like X. So if X shows up in another movie, William might not like X again if it shows up in here.
Hey guys, Matt
Not necessarily.
Jibbo's
You
here.
shouldn't take it that way because there's been movies like that to where they got better. Certain things, certain elements, or the representation, how it's presented. Presentation is everything. You can't just say because you heard me say something about one movie, because there have been plenty of movies that I've seen where the elements are there, but the execution was better from one movie to another. It's how movies go. Hello, Matt. What's going on here?
All right.
Chappie, somebody say something. The forum is yours, guys, for the next 10 minutes.
For what happened at the end of Peacemaker season 2? I'm just curious. You could just spoil it to me right now.
You need to watch it, dude. I can't explain it.
Dude, just spoil it. I don't care. I'm not gonna.
It's too much to cover.
Complicated.
Yeah, just watch the episode, dude.
Yo, what's up, guys? What's up?
And the whole like I always felt like Peacemaker was at least 2 episodes behind where they should have been. Like the Dimension Earth X thing should have happened way earlier. Because surprise, it's a Nazi dimension. Yeah, we guessed that 2 weeks ago.
I thought there should have been more afterwards, but you know.
Yeah, they really.
Yeah, they could have been.
I was gonna ask you guys, does this kind of like Wu's face for a little bit of the DCU moving forward, or no?
No, I don't think so.
Movies are something more to laugh at.
In my opinion, it's the movies that are going to move. Was that even Jarbo for real? I don't even know.
He said
I don't think so. He would speak.
He said he's fixing his mic, so he might.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I think I am going to go, gentlemen.
All right, Jared.
I will see you guys later.
Jared.
Tom King rules. See you later, man.
I was gonna tell him, yes. Sometimes movies aren't perfect, but there are a few perfect movies out there, which are The Shawshank Redemption. Okay. You cannot tell me there was any flaws in that film. That film is sensational.
Another one is Mystery Man.
Pacing is kind of slow, but it's all like I said. To go back to your point,
The Shawshank Redemption, that is a masterpiece. How
science fiction horror fantasy? Did you not? Did you mean play the theme song again there? There are things that are executed various ways in different movies that don't work for me in one movie that will work for me in another movie. If you'd had the writers of like Dexter's Resurrection writing Trap, they might have executed that nonsense better than they did.
See, but I like Trap, but I do agree there was a lot of nonsense in the movie. I agree with you. There's a lot of plot holes and there's a lot of bullshit in it. I do agree with that.
And that fucking guard that just says, "Hey, there's
I know.
There's a secret plan going on, and all these people are in place. But let me fucking tell you, random dude coming down to get a T-shirt and everything." I'm like, well, okay, come on.
Yeah, and then like you have like NYCC there, like he just shows up for like no reason. He's conveniently is there. Like there's just so
he's
many
conveniently
things.
too many fucking places in that movie.
I know.
And he's more than lucky. So that's why. But hey, if you guys like Trap, like I said, I thought Josh Hartnett's performance was a standout. I thought he was the best thing about the movie. And if you like Josh Hartnett, you got your fill. I just thought they were just good.
When it came to like musical horror movies last year, I mean, probably my favorite overall horror movies last year was Smile 2.
Me too.
And I hated that movie. I didn't hate the movie. I'm sorry. I hated the ending of that movie. I thought the movie was great, but once again,
yeah, but why don't you not like the ending? You kind of
Because
expected that from the first one.
Yeah, but you know what? I expect a little bit better for. It just didn't jive with me. And now I'm not. Like I said, you got me twice with Smile. You got me twice.
Aaron?
You got me twice. Fool me once,
Hello.
shame on me. It'll be a third time. Hello, Ozzy. How are you doing?
Good. Oh, can't wait for them to start putting out more stuff about Mortal Kombat.
Oh, it was nice seeing you, Aaron. See you later.
Oh, dude, talk down to my sis like that.
They're pretty much greenlit the third film at the moment.
Yeah.
I thought you were waiting for Wicked too.
Well, yeah, well that's coming.
It's coming out next month.
I'm waiting for Predator's Badlands.
Oh yeah,
November 7th. November 7th.
William
And like I said, I'm hearing it's PG and it's turning some people off. Trust me, guys. It's not that.
The only thing I'm really looking forward to now is Fallout Season 2.
That's.
I mean, the Furious is a given, as Aaron and I can both definitely attest.
This is why I don't do open panels. It augments the nonsense that's already on the panel before I open it up, which is the co-host.
You know, only losers press the.
I've got a serious question with that DC KO. Is any of the AEW people involved in that?
I don't know. That was not announced. I know they are doing work with AEW, but I don't know if this is. But if the collection of things I saw that today are part of it, why not? I mean, they got teddy bears and Annabelle in there. You've opened the door to have anything in there now. It doesn't even matter what company, because it's like those are from different. Dynamite is, I think Dynamite owns the current rights to do Vampirella. That's not DC, so that was kind of cool to see. Actually,
Nightmare on Elm Street. That's owned by Warner Brothers, isn't it?
It's by New Line.
New Line, yeah.
New Line.
And I
so
did heard that they
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to tell. No,
so that means
it was from
Freddy
the
could be part of it.
One at a time, Chappie. One. Let her finish. Good.
I said that means Freddy could be part of it as well.
I would hope not. I want Freddie and Jason to go away. I want Freddie and Jason and Michael to ride off into the sunset and just not come back for a while.
It's so mean.
I'm talking about DC KO.
Yeah, anywhere. I don't want to see Freddie anywhere.
So like,
dude,
I want people to forget about them. I want people to forget about them.
Why do you hate that remake so much?
Because it's not good. You got to realize when you make these movies, as these movies were coming out, there was a certain theme, a certain expectation, and a certain atmosphere that they created. You can't recreate that the way they tried to in that 2009 movie. And
the
then
2009 movies, it takes the best elements of the first 3 Friday 13 movies and makes it.
Remember when I said this might be a mistake? You can't take the elements of it. It's the atmosphere that those movies are created with. That's why that's why whenever you make a remake, you're uphill already. You're starting at the base of Mount Everest already, because you're already losing a major part of what made those movies go.
Yeah, but the point of a remake is to do something different, not to do the same thing over again.
If you're going to do something
a remake is doing a beat by beat of the original. You're thinking about a reboot.
Yeah, but that's the worst. But that's the worst thing a remake.
William did a whole stream doing like the definitions of
remakes, reboots.
Yeah.
Remake,
Psycho.
Lazy and stupid fuck. Reboot is the love child.
Well,
then kid. It's an ugly kid.
Well, yeah,
it's
but because
there's a revival, right, where everything comes back. It's a continuation, like what the Buffy TV show is. This new one.
That's a revival. That's a revival.
Yeah, that's a revival, not a reboot. That everybody.
Revival, unlike Joss Whedon's career.
A remake is a beat by beat.
Not really beat by beat, though.
Beat by beat of the original.
I mean,
the
it's sort of
reboot
like it's the same
is
premise,
pretty
but
much
it
the
does something
project
different.
by name.
All right, Chappie. All right, you brought in Shawshank Redemption, which is a brilliant movie, but just not with the vibe I was going for tonight. No, I need
Maybe
Freddie.
Hogwarts is still well.
Hogwarts. You know what? If you can get it past the Potterheads, they're the ultimate. They're the ultimate judges about Harry
Bring
Potter.
it in. Bring it in.
You got one right here.
Bring
That's
it
like
in. Bring it in.
And
Yes, please.
sounds like money to me.
And Superman is vulnerable to sorcery, so it's like he would actually have a challenge with Mr. Potter.
Dude, if you portray, and this is why I'm not against the Harry Potter show, because there are people who love the Harry Potter movies who think that they weren't close enough to the books, and these shows tend to get closer. I think if the Potterheads would embrace it, you could have a hit on your hand if HBO Max ever gets it done.
My big request, and I say it's not as like a big Harry Potter guy, but it's like the only thing that you cannot do is you cannot have that stupid floating cupcake scene from the second one.
You're talking.
Or have P. Diddy in the show.
Okay, Chuck.
Why would P.
I
Diddy?
just got here, man.
Chuck, first of all, you come in with no avatar. That's just not, that's not kosher.
I'm not a blue person, okay?
All right, and you bring up somebody who really doesn't need to be brought up on this show.
You don't like the cake scene in the
Big
second
Butt
one?
Daddy.
Happy just went over your head, and that's fine. I hope the rest of the audience,
By the way,
and the demonetization people,
speaking of Diddy, the
Michael why are we speaking of Diddy? Why are we?
Diddy Dirty Money, baby.
Oh,
No, I'm sorry. I had a point. I'm sorry.
Okay.
First of all, well, what y'all were saying about I didn't watch Peacemaker, but what y'all are saying that it taints, like if a bad show comes out while a good movie comes out, isn't that what happened to Thunderbolts? Because Thunderbolts was great, but the show sucked.
The show Thunderbolts? What are you talking about?
No. Like each individual show that they were in, those sucked. But that movie was great.
The thing about that is they took the best elements of those shows. They literally took the best elements of those shows and those movies and made something good. The problem is, it's the same thing about those shows and the watchability of the people that they put in Thunderbolts is that they were Z-listers. Thunderbolts is one of the best comic book movies I've seen in a long time. It's my favorite comic book
I
movie.
agree. It's my number one too.
But it's Red Guardian. You gonna peel out some money for Red Guardian? I will. But the 98%ers, the other people that we need to make these things viable, Red Guardian, and you're taking people who weren't even Z-listers on their own show. You made an excellent movie.
John Walker is like the most emotional, relatable man in the entire MCU.
He's Z-list Captain America that nobody figured out. Like you're arguing against the clock. I agree with you.
He was gonna end the movie quick when he met what's her name, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. He was gonna end that quick.
Okay, but now you're talking about Thunderbolts didn't do well because it didn't do well because it was a bad movie. It didn't do well because
it did better than 4 or 5 would.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You guys had a point. Like, if Peacemaker is bad and Lanterns is bad, isn't that gonna ruin Supergirl? If Supergirl's great?
Nope, because first of all, one episode of Peacemaker was bad, not the whole show.
I watched 2 episodes and I was done.
Yeah, but that's not the 8. It's an 8-episode season. I mean, that sampling doesn't do it for me. I watched all 8 episodes, and that's how I judged it. I judged it on its own rules, its own consistency. I don't think Peacemaker, because not everybody else is going to have the same opinion about Peacemaker as we do. So I mean, you're going to have people who like it, And I'm echoing to somebody. Somebody mute yourself. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Plus, I think the majority of DC's audience right now is going to come from theatrical, and it's going to be the theatrical audience that ends up feeding them for a while until they get their legs on the ground. All right, hold on. Somebody's messaging me.
But I don't think I agree with. No, I was going to talk to Aaron.
All right, guys, we're at 85 people. Please like, subscribe, and we're about to wrap this up. I'll go with the guest. Fourth, you got any last words?
Peacemaker, giant waste of time. Step down from the first season. It's funny that they go through all this trouble and build up to get freaking Peacemaker out of one dimension, just have him get tossed into another one, and Dimension X. Maybe they'll come back to that. I don't know, but I think James Gunn's stretching himself too thin.
I can agree with about 50 to 60% of that. Because that's very valid. Yeah, because I do think that Earth X. I was
going to ask you, do you think?
Wait, one at a time.
Sorry. Go ahead, Ford.
No, I was just saying one at a time. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can agree with a lot of that. I liked more of it than you did, but I can agree with why you didn't like it. Ozzy.
Just real quick, I just want to ask you a question about your thoughts comparing first and second season. Did you feel that the first season had more twists and turns and replay value, or do you think you're more likely to rewatch this season? I know the last episode hurt it for you, but this one was better than first.
This season, listen. The last episode didn't do it for me, and I'm very disappointed with that. But episodes 1 through 2, episodes 4 and 5 and 7. Okay. 7 had me riveted. So no, it was one. Remember when we were doing our group watches, I couldn't even latch onto the season until he had that memory of his brother dying, and they were playing House of Pain and all that, and at that point I can connect with the character. But prior to that, I had every issue problem that the problems that you currently have now. I had those problems in the first 4 episodes, and then it turned the corner, and it was something I could watch and enjoy. This season, every episode had something in it that I enjoyed, and I thought that episode 7 literally was some of the best stuff I've seen in years from a comedy TV show. There are moments in there where he you could tell he is, under all that, a brilliant storyteller. I just think the focus needs to be more consistent. That's all. But no, season 2 is much more watchable, and I will watch certain things about it.
And I felt there was one last thing, though. I'll be done. I thought there was some opportunities to have some callbacks, like what was the alien theme jumping the babies in there. I was surprised they didn't go back to have Jason Lord callback where he whatever says fuck you for trying to recruit me, making the fool out of me. We got checkmate now, or something. Could one callback to make it feel like they went full circle. And there was one other example I forgot.
Oh, I could do a show. There's a lot of holes. I still enjoyed season 2, and I still find it mostly rewatchable. But there's a lot of holes. Like I said, you had that thing dropping the baby in the furnace a couple of different times, and we never got a payoff to that. So I could be there.
Did you agree with the prison planet being a thing of major concern being brought up so late? Because I thought we were all cool with the Phantom Zone being a thing, and this is wrong.
I would have been okay with that had there been more payoff and more time to explore it. I don't think that they should have introduced that in a season finale and not have anything after that. That's an episode 5 or 6 thing. So I can agree with you when you say there are certain things that should have happened 2 episodes prior. I can agree with that after seeing the season finale, because now I don't have time and I don't know when I'm getting anything else from this universe again, as far as Checkmate or Peacemaker goes. So I'm kind of frustrated there. So I can agree with that.
That's all I got.
All right, Ozzy. Any last words about it? This is where you can talk about Wicked and the Furious and all that nonsense.
All I can say is I preferred Alien Earth's final far better than what I preferred Peacemaker's. Peacemaker's just felt so hollow, very, very empty. It felt like it was a filler episode.
It was pointless. I can say I did not like using the word pointless because the rest of the shows had not been pointless, but it just really, and as time goes on, I will think fonder of it than I do now. It's Thursday. It was Thursday. It's now Saturday. I was wanting more. We literally did preview shows thinking about what we were hoping, and I was okay with being 100% wrong about everything.
Single thing
not fucking one of our shit came through.
No, well, not just that, but not just that. Everything we suggested was better than what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even some of the goofball stuff I got laughed at about. You know what? I would have rather had you try something that didn't land than just nothing landed. I got Nelson. I got people messaging me, "Hey, William, you're an old dude. Who's Nelson?" I'm like, you for one. And number 2, they're Ricky Nelson's twins, so I do know who they are. But you put the full Nelson. That was the title. I was literally, I said to Tate last night, I was flipping through comics and all my databases. I'm like, let me have the title. The title has to mean something. The title means fucking Nelson. Google Nelson, and you'll see where my disappointment lies.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Ricky Nelson, Dallas. Okay. I have to explain it. That's James' fault. Clint, last words for the night.
Nah, I'm cool. I've said all I needed to say.
I got something.
Please don't make me regret picking you. Not picking you.
What I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
say is, I have not seen Peacemaker season 2. I probably don't plan on to. I'm just gonna watch a spoiler ahead episode of the season finale if I could just know what the heck everyone's so angry about. But
My hand is hovering over the X, Chappie. Go ahead.
But I do not agree with Aaron, and I'm not at all crapping on this, but a remake for me is not a carbon copy, because a carbon copy is something like Gus Van Damme's Psycho or the Omen remake. Those remakes taught us everything is don't do a shot-for-shot remake. Those are the most pointless, most laziest attempts to do a remake. Because the
Well, we've
point of a
already started
remake-
at lazy by doing the remake. We're already at lazy.
No.
We already got the lazy costume
point
on. We're
of
just missing the
doing a
horse head.
remake is to do something new and different, or
Okay,
someone
stop.
else's take on the source material.
Hold on, everybody stop. Chappie, I need you to repeat everything you just said. The point of a remake is to do what?
Oh, sorry, my phone was on the mic. The point of a remake is to do something new and different, especially you remake it a classic, or have someone else's take on it, different take on
The
it.
point
You
of a
know?
remake is to do something new and different.
Yes.
That's like saying me making the same exact sandwich I did an hour ago now because I wanted to taste something different.
Yeah, but for that movie, it can stand on its own. For it doesn't have to be compared to the original. Kind of like Black Xmas.
Original, Chappie.
I see what they're saying. They're both right in a way. Like Kong Skull or the King Kong Peter Jackson is not a shot for shot of the original.
No, it's
but you
something
get
that's
stuff
different.
like
It's
the
similar,
Psycho
but
movies,
different.
which is a shot for shot original.
Yeah,
but they're both considered remakes.
Here's the big difference, though, with Kong. The main factor, as long as you have the giant ape involved, there's room to work around with. When it's Friday the 13th, there's not a lot of room. It's a killer with a hockey mask, killing stupid people, and you're just doing it in a different era now where it really doesn't that kind of horror, unless you're going to spoof it, unless you're going to do a period flick of it. But it's like I said, everything has its time and place. And all I need Michael, I need Jason, I need Freddy, I fucking take Art the Clown but people, he's fine.
Whoa.
He's fine for right now. But I need these other ones. I need them to go away to where somebody is not even born yet right now, gets born, grows up, goes to a place where they can dust off this shit and say, wow, who were these things like that? And then they can bring some fresh new life, because everybody who's trying to do these remakes they got their foot in two different toilets. They got the nostalgia toilet going, and they got the maybe I can add something new to a toilet going on, and they both need to be flushed. Both toilets need to be flushed. Those
Yeah, but what do you think about John Carpenter's The Thing? That's a remake.
No, that is not.
Yes, it is.
No, that is not. The Thing is not a remake. The Thing from Another World from 1951 has not been remade, because both of them are drawn from the novella of Who Goes There. So they both took two different interpretations of the same novella, but they are not a remake of each other. Go ahead, Forth.
Well, I know you didn't mean that thing you said about Art the Clown, so I'll just take any chance.
No, I'm just, but like I said, at least he's new. At least the original, disgusting and vile, just, ugh. But at least he's new. Chuck, I'm gonna listen.
Chuck hasn't said anything.
Well, I don't like to talk over anybody.
All right, Chuck, the floor is yours.
Oh, okay. So number one, hide your kids, hide your wives. Number two, always eat your vitamins. And number three, probably go watch AJ versus John Cena, because I heard that shit was badass.
Yes, that was.
Did he come out with Get Ready to Fly or no?
What's up?
Did he come out with the TNA song?
I didn't watch the beginning of the match because I had customers in it, but I watched it all on replay because I wasn't getting up 5 a.m. in the morning. And I say this as somebody who thinks the WWE project is just not worth my time for the most part.
Oh, it's ass right now.
They had 3 matches on this pay-per-view that were really worth my time. The John Cena one was a really fun match. Those are 2 super old dudes that are all busted up, and they put on a hell of a match. The Tiffany Stratton, what's her face match was really good. It's late. Awesome match.
The Rhea Ripley one, I liked it.
The Rhea Ripley one, the 2 women's match. They actually put on something. In the fact that I was watching the replay because I wasn't going to get up that early. I saw stupid shit and I could just fast forward it.
Rhea Ripley was shoehorned into that.
Well, yeah, because it's her birthday and she's in Oz. You knew she wasn't going to lose that. But it's still anything Io Sky is in is going to be good. So
yeah, but I mean, she shoehorned into that rivalry, like that's my opinion.
For this moment. So yeah, but she's shoehorned in the title match. She's shoehorned into everything because she's
kind of getting Cody Rhodes vibes already for me.
Yeah, but she's actually wow, that's a low one. All right, guys. Yeah, I think
I'm sorry.
No, you better end because I'm getting really aggravated now.
I like Captain Boomerang.
Well, wait a minute, nobody asked for my
wow, wait. Hey, wait a minute. The only person allowed to make Ozzy.
No, I'm sorry. That's my favorite superhero, Captain Boomerang. I mean,
so
isn't that a good representation?
You know what? Thank Aaron for putting up with all this abuse. These people, I commend you. You know,
you throw kangaroo shit at her every time.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to poke fun.
I am.
We could be talking about koala bears.
No, she sent me something. What did she? She sent me something the other day. What would you send me, Aaron? I had me rolling. Actually,
it was AI GIF of a koala and a kangaroo in the middle of the outback.
And they were talking, weren't they?
Yeah, they were doing a selfie.
Yeah, and I told you when I get to the outback, before I get us both killed, we need to find that. Me and you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can't find it on my thing, but yeah, it was hilarious. Aaron made me laugh. I wasn't expecting that from Aaron. I'm like, it's usually me sending her, the talking kangaroo or Wonder Woman riding a kangaroo or something with a kangaroo or a trapdoor spider or a koala. But she sent that to me, and I'm like, wow.
Bought in Warner Brothers yet or no?
What's up?
Has Paramount bought in Warner Brothers yet or no?
Okay, Chappie.
That's
when you're not on the screen, where are you in like a coffin and sleeping in your own
sleep?
He's in an alternate universe.
He just came out of cryo sleep.
He's in a pocket universe, you might say.
You're in a pocket universe. Apparently they have bought it. Apparently they dropped out. Or apparently they bought it. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Well, I actually sent something to William earlier about that a few hours ago. Probably going to go into that a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah, we're
talk about Wonder Man?
Talk about what?
Wonder Man?
Yeah, we played the trailer. In fact, if I'm still on the air, it'll be a shock because we played that trailer. I didn't get anything from that trailer but like I said, I'm going to give it a shot. Why not? I like him and everything he's been in, so I'm going to give him a shot. And if I don't like it, if I watch an episode and it's
but it could be one of those leftover from the Bob Chapek here. Don't expect
all of
good.
this shit is. That went into production way before all that. But you know what? The Bob Chapek era is the fucking Bob Iger era because they set him on that path. They told him we want volume.
Dick.
He was. That was not his saving grace, but I don't think they handled that. They fired him while he was at a concert. And then he was finding out.
He forced Kevin Feige to do more content, more TV shows than just focusing on the movies.
Elton John concert. Yeah, but okay, he did exactly what they wanted to do because at that time they wanted to make Disney Plus, because it was cheaper overhead. But now they've changed their mind, and Bob Chapek got a lot of money to go away. Bob Chapek got more money to go away than I will ever get to stay anywhere. So he's okay. All right, let me go say
Bill Belichick money.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. You know what? This is fucking fourth. Fourth, this is you.
That's not me. I guarantee it's not me.
Oh, one more thing, William. How about them Cowboys? That's all I gotta say.
How about them?
Yeah.
I'll give you credit, Chuck. And as
Did they
Tech
not
Down
kick the
always-
Jets' ass?
Okay, you and me, and all the senior citizens on your block could take out the Jets. So I'm not using that as a negative. However, I'll give you this though: they are better than I thought they had any business being. They tied, and Green Bay had no fucking business tying them. They had no. They were one Micah Parsons away from letting that fool into the end zone to losing that game. But hey, they did what they needed to do.
All I can say is go the Jags.
Jags.
The
Jags are 4-1. They're 4-1.
We've infected the outside European world with so many Jaguar games that they have fans.
Hey, they're sending everybody. Everybody in that division is going to London. By the way, those games
they wasted Trevor Lawrence. They're wasting Hunter.
I'm not getting up 6 a.m. to watch the NFL unless I got money.
Next season they're going to be doing a couple of games here in Australia.
Then they can.
Are they going to throw boomerangs? I'm sorry.
Do that. That's cool. And she has a boomerang.
What's with Brad speak? What was he gonna say before we drop out? What's with him speak, Wes?
What motherfucker? Tell me what to do.
Yeah, Brad said he had to say something, man. Like, what was he gonna say before we dropped out?
I was gonna drop the X on him anyway. Now, what were you saying? You were saying something about. No, we were gonna talk about it tomorrow. We got things that we're going to talk about tomorrow.
My final thoughts on sign-off thoughts. I mean, after this episode of Peacemaker, what else is there to say? Restore the Snyderverse.
Now we're going to have people in the comments. Snyderverse. He doesn't support anything else that Zack Snyder does.
The only way I can say before we go out, the only way I can see them restoring it is in a cartoon form or a comic book form. Those two forms.
I don't even want dude. No other form.
Or an AI form. Have you been seeing that Sora too?
Oh, right here.
AI. No, that's a bit creepy.
Right here. Papers and staples. That's where it needs to begin. Scott Snyder needs to take control of the project, sit down with that, but that's another stream. All right, guys. Well, that's it. It's been a very eventful 2 hours and 47 minutes. Everybody enjoy the rest of their Saturday night. Don't do anything that's going to get you arrested because there's nobody here that can bail you out. We will be back.
I can't promise that.
I thought that was Archie's.
Me and the senior citizens go to a Cowboys party.
You need to be arrested, so that's fine with me. We'll be on the air probably a little bit earlier tomorrow because I got some stuff to do later on after that. So tomorrow we'll do a weekend wrap up. We'll do more detail of what we didn't go over. Like I said, there's going to be more New York Comic Con stuff because that Comic Con is tomorrow, and I'll have more details over the stuff that we covered today because it's all developing. And anything else that we kind of just glossed over this season, like I say, I think we're done with Peacemaker. There's no reason to bring up Peacemaker tomorrow, so we're done. And everybody have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
How about them Cowboys?
This is for everyone.
Go Cowboys.
Well, that just goes without saying.